Hi, do you want to create your very first portfolio design from very scratch? If yes, then this course is just perfect fitting for you. In this course, I'm gonna creating the complete portfolio design from very scratch, and for creating this, I'll be using all the modern technologies like HTML5, CSS3, Bootstrap 4, JavaScript and jQuery. So first take a look the overview, then we'll talk further. Friends, as you can see, very first we are getting the front section which is containing the image, name, designation, paratext, personal info and all the menus are available at the very bottom as a navigation area. Very first we have profile which is containing the icon with name. After that we have resume, portfolio, contact. If I click on the resume, you can see our resume section is just dropping down, which is containing the name, designation, paratext, all the area of expertise, then my skills. After this we have address and we have progress bar. If I show you, then you can see we are getting a lot more things in this resume design. Friends, as you can see at the very left side we have settings icon, keep rotating. If you click on this you will see all the color is just coming at the top. We have four different colors available. Very first this one is selected here. If I click on this you will see our color is getting changed to the elements. Let's take a look. All the color as a yellow has been fixed inside the elements. After that we have another color that is blue. You can see it is getting filled in the elements. Then we have this green color which is just filling. Okay, so friends, this is the color switcher. We'll create it just by using CSS3 and jQuery as well. After that we have portfolio which is containing 8 different skills. You can see all are getting the images like what we have done as a project. Okay, at the very top, we have menus available like web design, it is getting filtered, photography, it is getting to, it is illustration, it is also getting filtered. So all the menus which are available here are working as very smooth and also making the things filterable. Now we have the images. If you click on the image, then it will pop up very next to us. We are getting the navigation area both sides to navigate beautifully. See here.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh, maybe.
Then we have another menu that is contact. It is containing the Google Map, form and the info. And also we are getting the button to send. So friends, in this entire course, I am gonna creating this beautiful portfolio design from various scratch. And for creating that, I'll be using all the modern technologies. So why waiting? Let's get started and create something like this. Friends, at the top you can see we have share icon available. When you will click over it, we'll get all the social medias just bringing to us. If we click back on it, then it will just disappear. See here. This is totally amazing, isn't it?
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh, maybe. 125 in the...
So friends, without wasting the time anymore, let's get started. Hi, welcome back. Friends, in this class, we are gonna creating this beautiful front section from various scratch. And for creating this, I'll be using modern technologies. Okay, so you can see very first, we have the background pattern, image, name, designation, paratext, personal info, and then we have some menus available with icons. As you can see, we have profile, resume, portfolio, contact. At the very top we have social options available. See here how cool it is. It is containing 4 icons like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Okay, so right now we have to create this very first section from various scratch. For creating this, what I'll do, I'll use some simple markup, and also I'm gonna using some CSS3 properties. Okay, so let's do. Before doing anything, simply I'm creating a new folder and saving all the files, especially the images, inside the folder. Okay, so just going to the desktop, and here I am creating a new folder and giving a name to it like portfolio. This portfolio folder will contain 3 folders such as CSS, image, JavaScript. All the folders will contain some images, CSS file, JavaScript and plugins. Okay, so just coming inside this portfolio folder, inside this we need 3 folders. Okay, so just creating like this. I am giving a name to it. Again I am creating new folder and giving a name to it like image. Then I am creating another folder which is JavaScript. All the folder will contain a specific files, like CSS folder will contain the CSS file, image will contain the images, JavaScript folder will contain the JavaScript and plugins file. Okay, so these are the folders which we created earlier. Right now I'm just coming inside image folder, and inside this I am putting all the images which I'm gonna using right here in this course. Friends, right now we need the text editor. So we have a lot more text editor available like Notepad++, Coda, Sublime, Brackets. So right now I'm gonna showing you that how to download the text editor and how to install that. Okay, so it's very easy. Let's follow me. I'm coming to the Google Chrome and searching here brackets.io. After searching it, you will be getting this very first page as I am getting right now. At the very top we have button called download brackets 1.14.1. Simply click over it and it will start downloading. Once it will be downloaded, simply install it, and after installing, open the software as I am doing right now. After opening, we need to make some changes. So I'll be discussing about that later on. First, I'm creating the file. Okay, so just coming to the file menu, inside this we have new. Click over it. And now you can see we have untitled. I'll be saving this file in the same folder where all the folders are available. So just going to the file menu, click on the save, and now I am locating my folder. Okay, so my folder name is portfolio. Coming inside this, and right now very first we have to create the index page. Just I am putting index page here, index.html. So right now I am putting the name. Okay, so after giving a name, just save it. So finally it's been saved. After doing this, what we need to do now, we need the CSS and main.js. So again I'm coming to the file, going to the new, and this time again I'm saving it in the same folder where all the files are existing. I'm just coming inside the CSS folder and right now giving a name to it like a style.css. Okay, so we have created index style.css. Right now we need the JavaScript. So just pressing Ctrl+N for the new and just saving it in the same folder. Right now I'm coming inside the JS folder, and inside this I am saving this file as a main.js. This main.js will contain all the JavaScript function. So finally we created 3 files like index, style.css, main.js. Right now I'm just coming to the index page and I'll be showing you some plugins to be installed. Okay, so friends, as you can see at the very right side we have option available called live preview extension manager. If you come inside the extension manager, then we'll get bunch of plugins available. So you can see it is loading right now. Once it will be loaded, I'll be discussing about this. Friends, it's been loaded. Now come to the search, and first I'm searching here image. what is Emmet actually? Emmet is actually a plugin which makes the work even more faster. Okay, I'll be discussing about it right now. First, you have to install it. So you can see at the very bottom we have plugin called Emmet. Okay, high speed HTML and CSS workflow. Simply install it. We have already installed it, that's why we are not getting any option for installing. Okay, so install it. After installing, you will get this plugin locating right here at the very top. See here, Emmet. Okay, so install it and just follow. Now I am on the index page, and right now I am showing you that what Emmet works actually. So you can see we are getting empty document right now. Now I am putting exclamation sign, and after putting exclamation, simply hit the tab button. You can see it's been expanded beautifully. Why it's been expanded? Because we have used a plugin called Emmet, and it has got some shortcuts. Okay, say for example, if you want to create a class of container, simply you have to put dot container. After putting it, hit the tab button and it will be expanded beautifully. If you want to create the IDF container, simply put has container and hit tab button and it will be expanded beautifully as div id container. Okay, so it will totally save your time to coding. Okay, so it's got an advantage. Now let's do some practical of Emmet. So just coming inside the body tag, and inside this first I'm creating a class of container. So what I'll put dot container. This is the class name. After putting dot container, simply hit the tab button and you can see it's been expanded beautifully. Say for example, if you want to create the ID of container, so you don't have to write div id container. No, simply mention here has for the ID and the ID name like container. Hit tab. It's been expanded. So by using the Emmet plugin, you can do all the work even more faster. Okay, say for example you need some dummy text. So what you will do, simply come inside body and mention lorem and the word count, like you need 50 words or 100 word. It's up to you how much word you want. So here we need 100 words of dummy text. So here I'm mentioning lorem 100, that means 100. Simply hit tab. You can see we are getting 100 words in a single click of the tab button. So it's totally amazing, isn't it? Now if you want to create the class with heading or the para tag, what you will do, simply come just here and mention heading tag like h2 or h3, h5, whatever you prefer. Here I am putting heading tag like h2 and the class name like para. Okay, so we have put h2 dot para. Para is the class name. Now hit tab. You can see h2 class para. So it will definitely define your work or the code in one line, and it's looking so cool, isn't it? So by using this Emmet plugin, we can do the work even more faster. Okay, so make sure to enable this plugin called Emmet, and then we can do the work much more faster. Right now what I'll do, I'll just link this style.css and main.js to the index page. So let's do. First I'll be linking this style.css to the head section right here. So here I am putting link hyperreference. So let's put inside this hyperreference, I'm just putting the name like a style.css, but this is available inside the CSS folder. So here I am putting folder name called CSS. Inside this we have a style.css. Right now we have to link this main.js to the index page. So I'm just coming very down or inside the body section at the bottom, and here I am giving the source with a script. Okay, right now I am putting src. This is the source, and inside this we have js folder and we have main.js. So finally we have linked style.css main.js to the index page. Right now we need some jQuery, some CSS plugin like Bootstrap, Google Font, and like this. So let's do that. I'm coming to the Google Chrome right now, and you can see we have Google font. Simply search in Google and you will be having this page as I'm getting right now. Very first Google fonts, click over it. Very first I'm gonna linking some Oswald font. So here I'm mentioning Oswald. You can see it is popping up very next to us, Oswald. Click on this plus icon and wait for a while. Here we have this font right now. You can even customize. Click on the customize and you can see we have some fonts property like light 300, medium, like this. So simply make sure to check it out, and once it's checked, simply come to embed, and right now what I'm doing, I'm just making a copy of it. Okay, I'm copying it, coming back to the bracket, inside the head section, just pasting it at the top of style.css. So right now I'm pasting. So we have linked Oswald font family. Right now we need another font family like Roboto condensed. So just coming back to the Google, and right now again I'm going to search another font family. So here I'm mentioning Roboto condensed. Here we have, okay. So make sure to click on this plus icon and it will get selected. Click over it. Here we don't need Oswald, so just minimize it. Now we have Roboto condensed. I'll be copying it, and after copying, just again doing the same work as I have done earlier. Here. So we have linked two font family. Right now we need the bootstrap file, font awesome file for the icons like this. So just coming back to the Google again and going to the font awesome CDN link. So simply search in Google like font awesome CDN file. After searching you will be getting this page as I am getting right now. Very first we have font awesome bootstrap CDN by stack path. Click over it. So we have bootstrap CDN and this is the font awesome actually. Here. Simply I'll be making a copy of it by pressing right mouse button and selecting copy option. Coming back to the bracket, and again what I'll be doing, I'm just coming down and here I'm pasting it. I'm mentioning link hyperreference, and inside this hyperreference I am putting the copied link. Okay. So we have added font awesome CDN link right now. Now we need the bootstrap and then we'll go for the work. Okay. So let's do. Here we have bootstrapcdn.com. Simply search it and you will be getting this page very first. We are using Bootstrap latest version like 4.4.1. Simply scroll the page, make a copy of it. Okay. Come back to the document and there I'll be putting it. Link. Inside this I am pasting. So we have linked bootstrap CDN file. Now we need the JS and jQuery file as well. So what I'll be doing, again I'm going to the Google Chrome and there I'll be linking its another part for the JavaScript. So you can see we have bootstrap.min.js. Simply make a copy of it. This is the JavaScript file, so we'll put it inside the script source. So just come here and scrolling the page, inside the body section, just at the top of this script, what I'll be doing, I'm mentioning here a script tag again, and inside this I'll be putting the source and then I'm pasting inside this. So we have linked bootstrap.min.js. Here you can see we have min. What is the min means? Min means it is the minified version. Okay, so we are using here minified version. Now we need the jQuery file. So again I'm coming here, going to the jQuery CDN, simply search it, and very first we have jQuery CDN link. Click like that. And then we have jQuery 3.x. Click on the uncompressed version and make a link copied. Copying it and just coming to the document, and inside this, just at the top of this script, again I am taking the script source and it will be having a spelling must be correct, then it will apply, otherwise it will never gonna apply. Okay, inside this I am giving a source and I'm just pasting the copied things. like jQuery 3.4.1.js. So finally, we have linked all the necessary plugins, like see at the top. We are using two font family from the Google. Like first we have Oswald, which is containing some font weight like 300, 400, 500 and like this. Then we are using Roboto Condensed and it is from Google Fonts. After that we have added here font or some CDN link, okay, for the icons. Then we have Bootstrap latest version called 4.4.1 bootstrap.min.css, and this is the custom file which we have created to the beginning of this video like this, okay. And then at the body section we have added the jQuery CDN file, you can see here. And then we have added bootstrap.min.js and it has got latest version. Then we have custom JavaScript. So friends, in this class we have done only the work for the linking all the necessary plugins and the files. I hope you got that. Now in the next class I am gonna working for the markup of HTML to create the main and the front section for the portfolio. So I hope you enjoyed. Till then, stay blessed, keep creating. Friends, previously we have linked all the necessary plugins. Right now I am gonna creating something like this. Let me show you. Friends, as you can see, very first we have the front section which is containing the background pattern, image, name, designation, text, personal info and the menus like profile, resume, portfolio, contact. So right now in this class I am gonna creating this simple markup and then I'll be styling it beautifully. So while waiting, let's get started. I'm just coming inside the body section and here what I'll do, I'll first create a section and this section will contain the ID called container. This container ID I'll be defining later on. Inside this I am putting the header as a selector. It will be having some ID again like logo. This logo ID I'll be putting later on in the style.css to put the logo. Okay, inside this I am taking heading tag like h2. This will be containing the name like Tim Wilson. Okay, you can put any name whatever you prefer. After this I am putting another heading tag that will be h4 which is containing some different font size to this h2. Okay, inside this just I am putting designation like graphic and web designer. If I show you, then we'll get only the name right there. Okay, after this logo div coming down, and this time we have to work for the social icons which we are getting right there like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and then we have WhatsApp. So for that what I'll do, I'll create a class called social icons. All the classes what I am putting here is not existing anywhere. I'll be defining it later on in the style.css. Okay, so here I am putting a class called social icons container and then expanding it by hitting tab button. Inside this I am taking the tag called span and it will be having some undefined class as well like social text. Okay, and it will be having some button and this button will also contain the class like pulse button. Inside this I'm using font awesome icon. Okay, and I have already linked font awesome plugin here. See here, fontawesome.min.css. So I'm just calling the icons from font awesome. Okay, so here I am putting I tag. It will be having the class called fa stands for font awesome, and right now we need some icon like SEO. So here I'm mentioning fa SEO, font awesome SEO. So we'll get SEO icon. Okay, now you can see at the very right side at the top corner we have two options available like live preview extension manager. I am going through live preview. Now just wait for a while, we'll take a look how the preview coming up. You can see we are getting the name, designation and the icon like SEO. Okay, now just scrolling the page and this time we'll be working for the different things. Okay, so let's do. Friends, you might have noticed when I'm clicking on the share button we are getting 4 icons opening up. Okay, let me show you first. You can see at the very top we have share icon. Click on it and we'll get 4 icons popping up like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. So these icons I'm just calling there by using font awesome classes. Okay, so let's do. Here after the closing span tag, just scrolling the page and taking extra spaces to define the things. Here I am taking UL. UL stands for unordered list. Inside this I am putting a class called social icons. Okay. Inside this I am taking li tag, which is the list. Inside this also I am taking anchor link. Why I am taking the anchor link? This is called anchor link. Why? I am calling here to make the font clickable. That's why I am putting anchor link. Okay. And inside this I am putting I tag, which will be having the class of font awesome, that is FA. First icon which I am putting here, that is Facebook. So here I am putting FA dash Facebook. If you want to know all the cheat sheets for the fonts, then you can also go to the Font Awesome official website. There you can search for cheat sheet and you will come to know all the fonts, what class you have to use to call. You can get all the classes there defined. Okay, so first icon which I am putting, Facebook. Right now again we are creating 4 icons like Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, 3 icons actually. So I'm just pressing Ctrl plus D to duplicate it. Okay, I have duplicated the upper code 3 more times. Just I'll be changing its class name like Twitter. If I show in the browser, then we'll get 4 icons right there. Okay, so it's cool. Let me show you. As you can see, all the icons popping up very next to us. Friends, till now we have done only this part, like share part, which is containing the icons and the save icon. Okay, only the simple markup. We did not define any CSS and JS for this, only the simple markup. Right now again I am going for the simple markup for this part, like this image, name, designation and the personal info. Okay, so we'll do the simple markup and later on we'll go for the styling. Okay, so after the header closing div, just coming, first I am removing the extra spaces which we don't need here. Okay, just coming here inside the header or the after the header, and right now what I'll do, I'll just mention another section. Okay, so here I'm mentioning section and giving an ID to it like content. Okay, inside this again I am putting another ID called profile and it will be having some another class called about, and this about class will contain all the images. So first I am creating custom class called photo inner. You can put any class name whatever you prefer the most. Okay, just coming inside this and taking UL tag, and UL will be containing li and this li will contain the images. For putting the images, what I'll do, I'll put image source and this will be having the location. Okay, so inside the source I'm just giving the folder name called image, and inside this we have very first image called photo.jpg. Okay, right now you can also put some height and width here inlining. Okay, so I'll be doing that later on. Just duplicating this part one more time by pressing Ctrl D. Okay, and here I'm changing its name, photo1.png, photo1.png. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we'll get 2 images right there. See, we are getting the image here. Okay, so it's looking something cool. Why I'm using 2 images here? Because we have to put some shadow. That's why I'm using this image to put some shadow just under to this very first. You can see this is the black and white and this is the colorful. Okay, so we'll come to know why we have used 2 images later on. After this div of photo inner, I'm gonna taking h1, which is the heading tag, which gets the font size something around 36 pixel. Okay, inside the heading tag like h1 I am putting the name like Tim Wilson, and again I am putting the another heading tag like h3, which will be containing the designation like graphic. And if I show you, then we'll get 2 name right there again as I have done earlier. Okay, now we need to put some dummy text. So just coming down to this h3 heading tag, and we need some line break. For taking the line break, we have br tag. Just mention here br tag and we will get line break. Okay, and now we need some paragraph tag called p. Inside this I am putting some dummy text. Okay, so let's do. Here I am putting lorem 20 words. After putting lorem 20, hit tab button and it will be expanded nicely. Okay, if I show you, then you will get this text right there. Okay, I'll be showing you everything from very scratch, don't worry. After this closing div, what I'll be doing, I'm just mentioning personal info, as I have shown you how the personal info containing everything. Okay, so we have this div is containing all about the about class. Okay, see, I am clicking on it and it is showing that this class is closing right here. So this is the about class. After the ending about class, I am gonna using another UL, and this UL will be containing some personal info. Again I am saying you can use any class name which is perfect for you. Okay, it's up to you. Now taking li tag, and li will be containing all the label. Okay, so label will contain the name and the designation if you want. So inside the label I am putting the name, and after the label I am just taking a span tag and it will be having the name like Tim Wilson. If I show you in the browser, then we will get normal text there as the name. Okay, so I'll be showing you right now. Let me show you. As you can see, we are getting Tim Wilson graphic and web designer text and the name like Tim Wilson. Okay, now we need another one like birthday and everything. So just I'm clicking on it and pressing Ctrl D to duplicate it, and right now I'm changing the name only. Here I'm putting birthday. Okay, and here you can put the date if you know. Just I am duplicating one more time by pressing Ctrl D. It's been duplicated. Okay, inside this again I am changing the name like address. Okay, and here some name. Friends, inside this span here I am putting class called word rep. We'll put this class to put a specific changes there. Okay, now again I am duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D and changing its name. Here I am putting phone. Now once more I am just duplicating it and taking extra spaces, and then I am changing its name like website. Here I am putting word rep. Here inside the phone I am just deleting this class. We don't need here. Okay, it's normal. Here only I am putting the word rep, and then I am putting some website link. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we'll get only the dummy text. Let me show you. As you can see here, we are getting. Friends, right now I'm gonna working for the menu. Let me show you how it's look like, then we'll move further. You can see we have 4 menus available like profile, resume, portfolio, contact. So this menu will create right now, and it is also containing some icons. So we'll do it right now. Let's do that. So let's create the menu. Okay, first I am removing the extra spaces and then doing the things. Okay, after this section closing div, what I'll do, I'll just mention everything. Okay, here we have ul then div, just coming down to this and increasing the font size, and right now what I'll do, I'll just mention a selector called nab, and it will be having the class which is not defined anywhere yet. I'll be defining it later on. Inside this I'm putting ul tag, and this will be having another class called tabs. Okay, here I'm putting li, and it will be having some anchor link. So here I'm putting anchor link, and inside the anchor link I'm defining the class called tab profile. And here I am taking I tag 2 times, and inside the I tag will define the another I. It will be having the class called fa font awesome, and then I'm putting user. Friends, right now I am working for the menu part, okay? If I show you in the browser, then we'll get this icon like user Dio, definitely. And after this, I closing div, what I'll be doing, I'm just mentioning the name here. I'm mentioning profile. Okay, if I'll be showing you in the browser, then we'll get the name and the icon as well. Okay, now this time we have to work for another 3 menus. Okay, just I'm duplicating it 2 more times or 3 more times for the rest 3 menus. Okay, only we'll change its name. Okay, here I'm putting resume. Okay, and here I'm putting portfolio. And last we have another one, that is contact. Here I'm changing the font name. Okay, let's take a look how it's coming in the browser, then we will move further. Friends, very first anchor link is containing the class called tab profile. This second one will not contain any class name, so just removing from here. We don't need here, that's why I'm just deleting it. Okay, let's take a look. See, we are not getting anything. You know why? Because we didn't define the things. Okay, at the very bottom you can see we have profile, resume, portfolio, contact. Okay, so we are putting 4 menus right here. All are the markups, so we are not getting anything matching. So don't worry, it will be matching once we'll start doing the styling. Okay, so now let's do something different. Right now I'm gonna working for the footer part. Okay, so just coming back to the bracket, and right now I'll be doing that, just removing the extra spaces which we don't need here. Just remove. Okay, after the name we have section closing div, just deleting extra spaces. Right now what I'll be doing here, I'm mentioning footer. This will be having some id or the class I'm putting right here, copyright. Here I'm putting the text like copyright and end percent copy. This will put a copyright icon there, and then I'm putting some year like 2020 and company or the author name like Tim Wilson. Friends, till now let me show you what we have done. See, we have put everything as a markup. Right now I'm gonna working for the styling to style it beautifully. Okay, so it's very easy. Simply what I'll do, I'll come back to the bracket and there we'll do the things. Here I have created a custom class, not class actually, this is the style.css. Inside this I'll be putting all the specific CSS3 properties. Okay, so let's do. Very first we have to change the body image. So what I'll do, I'll mention a body. Inside this I am locating my image. First I am putting properties called background image, and then I am locating my image. Okay, so inside the image folder we have the image called busybody.jpg. If you click over this, then you will come to know which image I am putting right here. Okay, let's have a look. As you can see, we are getting the pattern background. Okay, now we have to work for the profile. So we have a id here on the index page. Let me show you. Going at the very top and just taking a look. Here we have the id called profile. See here, we have content id, then we have profile. So this profile ID, I'm just calling inside a style.css. For calling the ID, what I'll do, I'll put has and then the ID name like profile. Inside this first, I'm putting background color something around red, CF455C. Here I'm using hex color code. You can use any color code whatever you prefer. And if you know the color name, then you can also put the color name here like deep sky blue, pink, hot pink, deep sky, or like this you can put. Okay. And then I'm putting some background image to this. Here I am putting some shadow image. So here I am mentioning URL and it will be having some image folder. Inside the image folder we are getting the images. Okay. Here I am putting header shadow. Okay. You can see it's looking like something this. It is dotted. So we will put it right here. Then I am putting some background position and it will be center to bottom. And then I am putting some overflow. Also, before putting overflow, what I'll do, I'll put some background repeat. So repeat will be X. So repetition will go to the X axis. Okay. And then I'm going for the overflow hidden. So we'll not get any overflowing right there. If you don't put this overflow, then most of the times we are getting X and Y axis both sides a scroll bar, and that looks something weird, isn't it? Okay. If I show you, then we'll get definitely some different looks. See, we are getting the background color something like this, and also the color of the text has been changed beautifully. Okay. Now after this, I'm going to the index page to define some another class. Okay. So we have a class here called about. This about class is containing the image like this. First image is colorful and second is just like grayscale. Okay, so right now I am defining this about class. This will be containing some margin, width and left properties, and also it is containing some floating. Okay, so I am coming to the style.css and right now I am calling my class called about, and this will be having some float. So right now I am putting float like left. So we'll get all the left float disappeared. Right now we need some margin from the top, that's why I'm putting margin top something around 30 pixel. Okay, and also I'm going to use some width here. So I am putting width something around 490 pixel. You can keep on changing its value. If you want to decrease the value, then you can just decrease. It's up to you. After that, I'm using some margin left property something around 20 pixel. Okay, if I show you in the browser, then we'll get some gapping. You can see we are getting this personal info right here as a floating. I have used the property called float left. That's why we are getting personal info like about at the left float here. Okay. Now after this, I'm gonna using some different colors. Okay. So I'm going to the index page and you can see we have a class called about. Inside this we have photo inner. So this photo inner and about class calling together. Just coming to the style.css, taking extra spaces and then doing the work. Here I'm mentioning about and then the class name called photo inner. Class name must be same as you have put on the index page, then it will work, otherwise it will never gonna work. Inside this photo inner, I'm putting float like left. Here I'm putting background and it will be having some URL. Inside this I'm locating my folder called image, and inside image we have the folder called photo inner. And here we don't need any repetition, so here I'm mentioning no repeat. We will not get any image as a repeated. See here, this is the image. This is the shadow image actually, which will come under the image. Okay, let me show you first. You can see at the image behind we have the shadow. See at the corner we are getting some shadows. So this shadow I am gonna putting just by putting the shadow image, which is right here. Okay, so we have used photo inner.png. Right now I am gonna defining some width for it, like something around 214 pixel, and also I am gonna putting some height for this as the width is. So width is 214 pixel, same value I am putting to the height. And now I am putting padding like something around 20 pixel. This is the top value, and right now I am putting left like 0, bottom like 0, and after the rest like left, this will be something around 19 pixel. You can keep on changing its value to take the perfect result. Friends, I have used four properties here. This is for the top, this is for the right, this is for the bottom, this is for the left. These are the properties from TRBL, top, right, bottom, left. Now saving it and showing you. See, all the images like shadow and the image are getting fixed and it's looking something cool. Okay, now I'll be designing as I have shown you. Okay, so stay tuned, see you in the next. Till then, keep practicing. Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class we have created this beautiful section. Right now I am gonna working for this text like Tim Wilson, and then we have designation, then we have para text. Okay, so it's very easy. Simply I'll be following the mentioned class on the index page, and once we'll find we can do the work easily. So let's do. I am coming right now at the index page, and there we'll take a look that the name class, designation class, paragraph class. So we have a class here, not class actually. We have heading tag like h2, okay, and also we have another heading tag h3. Let me show you. You can see we have content profile. Inside this we have about class. This class is containing another heading tag that is h1, and also we have designation like h3. So right now we have to work for this heading like h1, which will contain some font weight, color, line height, margin top like this. So why waiting? Let's do right now. Just coming back to the style.css, and there I'll be calling this heading tag like h1. So what the code will be? Code will be dot about h1. Okay, so I'm just coming to the style.css, and there we'll define the things. Right here I am calling the class, so here I'm mentioning about, and this will be containing heading tag like h1. Right now what I'll be doing, I'm just putting font weight, and font weight will be something around 900. You can keep on changing its value. Then I'm going for the color. I'm changing the font color like white. Okay, and then I am putting some different property that is supposed to be line height, and it will be something around 34 pixel. And then we'll go for the margin top. We need some margin from the top, that's why I'm putting margin top value like 8 pixel. You can keep on changing. Right now we need some margin from the left side, so what I'll be putting margin left, and it will be negative. Okay, so we have worked for the heading tag like h1. Right now I'll be showing you that how it's look like. Okay, so let's see. As you can see, we have changed the name. Right now we have to work for this designation like graphic and web designer. It is containing the heading tag like h3. So we have a class about, and inside the about class we have another heading tag like h3. So what the code will be? Code will be dot about h3. So here I am taking extra spaces to define the things. Right now just putting about h3. It will be having some margin properties as well. So just putting margin top something around 5 pixel. You can keep on changing, right? And then I am going for the font size. I am putting the font size something around 18 pixel, and right now I am indenting it. Okay, and just putting some color to this like white, and line height something around 18 pixel. Okay, and just I'm changing the font family. So here I'm mentioning font family. This time I'm gonna working for the font family like Oswald. Okay, I have already linked this plugin for the font family at the index page. Okay, just I am calling that right here. Okay, I am putting two font family here. First Oswald, second sans serif. Why I am putting two font family? Because most of the times if you add your plugin of the fonts, if that not applying, then your system plugins or the system fonts automatically applied. That's why I am putting here two fonts right now like Oswald and sans serif. Right, if I save it and showing you in the browser, then we'll get definitely a different look. Let me show you. Yep, you can see we have transformed it beautifully. First Tim Wilson, second designation like graphic and web designer. Right now I am gonna working for this paragraph text, which is coming inside the p tag. Okay, and this p tag is containing the main class called about. So what the code will be? Code will be dot about p. Dot about p. Inside this what I'll be doing, I'm just putting font size again, and it will be having some font size something around 14 pixel. Okay, and then I'm going for the first, I'm indenting it, and then I'll be doing the things. Okay, right now I'm putting margin top property like 15 pixel, and then I'm going for the color like white, font weight something around 400, and then I'm going for the line height something around 24 pixel. It's up to you how much you want. You can put the values. Right now I'm putting the value for the font family that will be Roboto condensed. I have already linked a Google font there at the index page. Okay, I am putting Roboto condensed, and then sans serif. Again I am using two font family right here, Roboto condensed and sans serif. If I show in the browser, then we'll get paragraph text changed. Let me show you. Yep, you can see we have changed it nicely. Okay, now this time what I'll be doing, just working for this personal info. Okay, so just I'm going at the bracket, and there I'll be going for the index page. Here on the index page, we'll take a look that which class is getting all the personal info like name, email address, phone number, everything. So just scrolling the page, and you can see here we have very first class called personal info. This personal info class right now I'm just calling there in the style.css to put some a specific property. First I'm gonna adding some property like float, then we'll add margin, width, minimum height, everything. So just coming to the style.css, and very first I'm calling the main class which containing the UL tag, that is personal info. Spelling must be correct. The class what you have put there at index page must be same class calling here. Okay, right now I am putting some float property. It will be having some left, so we'll get some left floating beautifully. Okay, now I am adding some margin top, and this will be containing something like 30 pixel. We'll get some margin from the top, and right now I am adding some width to it like 310 pixel. You can keep on changing its value to get the perfect result. Then I'm gonna adding some minimum height, and it will be having some value like 230 pixel. Now I'm adding margin left, and it will contain 10 pixel obviously, and then I'm gonna adding some background. Okay, background. Why I'm adding the background, let me show you in the older file. Okay, I'll be showing you right now. We'll get some shadow like horizontal shadow right there. So I'm using here a image, just putting URL, and this will be having some folder name or location. So my file is available inside the image folder, and the name is personal info separator. It will put some shadow just at the next of the name like personal info, and here I am putting no repeat. So we'll get no repetition to the image, and then we'll align it left to the top. Okay, if I show you the image, you can see the image is something like blank. I'll be showing you in the preview how it's look like actually. Right now I am gonna adding some padding to this. This time I am adding the padding by using TRBL property like top right bottom left. Okay, so just I am putting top value like something around 20 pixel, and right now I am gonna adding right value 0, bottom will be something around 19 pixel, and then rest will be 20 pixel. These are the values which I am using together like TRBL, top right bottom left. If I show you in the browser, then Dio will get all the things beautifully defined. Yep, you can see we are getting the transformation right here. We are getting some shadow, but before to this we are getting some bullets, and it's looking something weird, isn't it? So I'll be working for it to fix it. Right now we have to find the tag for the address. So just coming to the index page, and you can see we have li tag. Li is containing the name and all the text. Inside the li we have label. This is the tag as well. So right now I am calling this main class called personal info together with this li. So just coming to the style.css, and right now I am taking extra spaces to define the things. We have personal info. Inside this we have a li tag. Just putting some line height to this to arrange it beautifully. Okay, so very first I am putting line height something around 12 pixel, and then I'm going for the different property. Okay, let me indent it beautifully, then we'll do the work. It will be having some font size 14 pixel, and then I'm going for the margin bottom something around 10 pixel, and just putting overflow like hidden, and floating will be left obviously, and then I'm going for the width with something around 293 pixel. Okay, let's have a look. Yep, you can see we are getting nice gapping in between the names, and also we are getting some shadow. This is the shadow which I have used with a background image. See here, personal info separator. Just by using this image we are getting the separators here, and it's amazing, truly amazing. Okay, just coming down, and this time I'm targeting another tag which is available inside the li tag, that is a span tag or the label tag. Here you can see we have main class personal info, inside this we have li, and this li is containing the label. So right now I'm just calling three classes, one class, two selector together, like personal info, li, label. Okay, so just coming to the style.css, and right now I am putting personal info li and then label. Okay, it will be having some color first, so color will be white. You can also put the hex color code, it's up to you. Then I'm putting some float to this. Float label will be something like left, and then I'm putting, first I'm indenting it. Okay, here I'm putting padding like 4 pixel, and then I'm gonna adding 7 pixel. This is the top right bottom left value. Okay, then I'm going for the font weight, something around 550. You can keep on changing. Okay, 550. Then I'm using some border radius to this, because we have to put some circularity to the edges. So here I'm putting border radius, and it will contain some value like 3 pixel. Okay, and then I'm going for the text transform. I want to put all the text as uppercase, so here I'm putting text transform uppercase, so we'll get all the text as uppercase. Okay, and then I'm gonna adding font family. So we have font family right at the top, just making a copy like this and putting right there, or you can even write the code. Okay, and it will make your concepts even more clear. So here I'm putting font family like Roboto. Let's have a look at what we did till now, then we'll move further. Yep, you can see all the names are getting transformed beautifully, and it's looking something cool, isn't it? Now we have to work for this name. Okay, so this name is available inside the personal info, and we have to take a look in which class or the tag the name, address, Gmail or the number are existing. So just coming to the index page, and let's have a look. So you can see a span tag is containing the name like Tim Wilson, and this span tag is containing the date of birth. Then this span is containing the address, and this span is containing email address, and this is the phone number. So right now I'm just calling the span tag with this personal info class. Okay, I'm taking extra spaces and then defining the things. Here I'm mentioning personal info. This is the main class, so must have to call. If you want to target the inner elements, then you must have to call the main class to target the inner elements. If you don't put the main class, then it will never gonna apply. If apply, then it will apply to the whole document, whole body, and it's looking something weird, isn't it? So right now I'm calling the main class called personal info, and inside this we have li, and after li we have a span tag which is containing all the name, address, designation, date of birth and everything. Okay, so we have personal info li span. Inside this first I'm putting float like right. Why I'm putting this? Because all the names are floating to the bottom. That's why I'm using here float like right, and it will be having some width like 220 pixel. And just I'm putting padding top to this like 4 pixel. Okay, you can keep on changing, right? Then I'm gonna working for the font weight. It will be something around 400. Okay, you can even increase its value, and then I'm going for the color like white, and after this I'm using some font family like again the same Roboto condensed. Roboto condensed and sans serif. Okay, I am putting text transform like uppercase, and also I am changing some different property right here. Let me show you first. Yep, friends, it's looking truly amazing. See here, all the code are working nicely, isn't it? Friends, till now we have done this part. Okay, right now I am gonna working for this share button, which is containing four icons like font, like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. So right now what I'll be doing, I'm just shifting this button at the very right side here. Okay, then we can do the things easily. First, I'll be showing you that how it's look like in the original file, then we'll move further. So let's take a look. Friends, as you can see at the very right side, we have button available called share button, and when you will click over it, we'll get four icons popping up very next to us like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Okay, so right now we have to work for this. So very first I'll be finding its main class, and after finding the class I'll be going for working to it. Okay, so let's do. I'm coming back to the bracket, and right now I'm on the index page, just going at the very top, and there we'll find a class, and after finding the class we can do the work easily. Okay, so very top and very first we have the selector called section, which is containing the id like container, and we have another selector that is header. So this header class, not header class, this is the selector, just calling in the style.css to put some position and overflowing. Okay, after that I'll be calling some another class. Okay, so why waiting, let's get started. Before doing anything, just coming to the style.css, and there I am calling the header first. So header I am just calling, it will be having some position first. Okay, so right now I am putting position something like relative. We have a lot more position like inherit, relative, absolute, fixed, attachment like this. So here I want to get some gapping in between the body section. That's why I am using relative. If I use absolute, then we'll get the margin or the gapping from the outer side of the document. That's why I am calling here relative. And inside this, what I'll be putting, I am putting overflow like visible. So we'll get the scroll bar scrolling. Okay, if you don't put overflow like visible, or if you put hidden, then we'll not get any scroll bar right there. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we'll get nothing because we didn't apply anything for the icons. So right now what I'll be doing, I'm just going to the index page there, and very first class I'm calling right now. So as you can see, we have a span class social text, which is containing undefined class like social text. Inside this we have button, and this button is also containing a class called pulse button. Inside this we have share button available. So for now I'm changing its color, and we'll put some position and color as well. So just I'm coming to the style.css, and right now I am putting the selector like a span, and it will be having the main class called social text. Okay, let me increase its font size. Inside this very first I am putting some position like absolute, and then I am going for the different part for this. Here very first I am putting right like 0 pixel, will not get any right gapping. Okay, here I am putting the color like white, and then I am putting some padding to this like top to right like something around 2 pixel, and left to bottom will be 9 pixel obviously. Okay, and then I am putting some font size like 22 pixel. You can keep on changing, and right now I am putting some cursor like pointer. So whenever you will put your mouse pointer over the icon, then we'll get the pointer like palm like icon as a cursor. Okay, and then I am putting top value 10 pixel to adjust it at the vertically centered, and then I am adding some border radius. Border radius here I am adding to get some circularity shape. Okay, so here I am putting something around 70 pixel. You can keep on changing. Yup, let's have a look. as you can see at the very right side, we are getting the icon like see here. You can see it is just coming here, but this part is not going there. Don't worry, I'll be putting or shifting it at the very right side. Very first we have to change its color as well. So we have a class for this here button, that is fa-co, and it is available inside the iTech. So what the code will be? Code will be i.fa-co. So let's do. We'll change its color. If you want to find the class, then you can do that. Simply come to the index page, and as you can see, we have a class. We have the class like fa-co. So this fa-co is the class from Font Awesome. So right now I'm just calling there to put some color for this. So what the code will be? Code will be i.fa-co. So just coming to the style.css, and right now I am putting I, and this will be having the class like fa, and inside this we have another class that is co. Okay, inside this very first what I'll be doing, I'm just putting the color like white, and it will be important. Why? Because most of the times if you don't add this important property, then your code will never gonna apply for most of the cases, because it is calling by default color from the Font Awesome plugins. So we have to remove that privileges. That's why I'm using important to remove all the privileges to apply only these specific properties right there. That's why I have used important. If I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely a background color, not background, font color will get white. You can see it's changed beautifully. Okay, right now we have to work for the different icons which is available here. You can see these icons are falling here, which is not perfect. So right now we have to remove this from here and we have to put inside this. So we need to find its classes. So just coming back to the bracket, and here I am just removing this part because the icon is not visible for now. Okay, right now I'm coming to the index page, and we have another tag which we have to find for the 4 icons. You can see we have Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. Okay, we have UL tag which is containing the main class called social icon. So right now I am calling this class with this tag called UL. So just coming here and mentioning UL social icons. Okay, inside this I'm putting opacity like 0, so we'll not get any fonts there. Inside this I'm putting top value like -1 pixel. Okay, and also I'm adding some position to it like relative, and then I'm going to adding some transition property for the animation like a smooth animation effect. So here I'm putting all the properties like all and then is 1 second. Here we have all means we are getting 4 properties together. Very first we have transition duration, transition delay, transition name like this. So all the properties I am calling here just by putting a property, a specific property called all. So it will call all the rest property for this transition especially. And then we have another property that is containing some smoothness. Okay, so we have easing out, fading out, like this. We have a lot more properties for this transition especially. Then we have duration like 1 second. Okay, now I am adding z index. Z index will be something around 1 pixel, or yeah, 1 is perfect. Then I'm going for the left value something around 7 pixel. Take a look. Friends, you can see all the parts which are coming here like social icons have been removed beautifully. But if you click over it, we will not get any icons appearing because we didn't define yet. Okay, so right now I'm gonna working for the different parts. Okay, so we have the class on the index page. Let me show you here. We have a class called, we have a button actually, not class actually. We have button, and it is containing the class called pulse button. Okay, so right now we can call this and we can just leave it. So finally we have done most of the parts as a markup and a style as well. So right now I am gonna working for the different parts of this portfolio design. So wait for a while, see you in the soon. Right now I'm just calling this class called pulse button, okay, because we have to put some background color, font color as well. So just coming to the style.css, and here what I'm doing, I'm just calling the class called pulse button, okay, pulse button. Pulse button. A spelling must be correct, then it will apply, otherwise it will never gonna apply. Inside this, first I'm putting position like relative, and then I'm using here width like 35 pixel. It's up to you whatever you are looking for. Right now I'm gonna adding some height to this, like something around same as the width is, okay, like 35 pixel. And also I'm adding some line height, something around 15 pixel. We have to shift the icon at the very center, that's why I'm using line height, okay. Then I'm using some border like none, and after this we can use some box shadow, okay, box shadow like 0 0 0 0, and it will be containing RGB value, red green blue, okay, red green blue. If you add A for alpha, then you will get some transparency, okay. So here I'm adding RGB value like 101 101 for, I'm using three values like 101, second is 100, and last we have 100 again. Why I'm putting three values? Because I have added here RGB, which means red green blue. So this 101 is for red, okay, and this 100 is for green, and then rest will be coming inside blue, okay. Right now I'm changing the background color for the share button. So what I'll be putting here, I'm putting background color, and right now I'm pressing, just coming inside the white class, white name, and here I'm pressing Ctrl E and changing its hex color code like CF455C, okay. And then I'm putting cursor like pointer, so we'll get pointer there, and then color will be white, so font color will be white obviously, and then font size something around 20 pixel. Yep, let's have a look. Yep, you can see we have done it, and it's amazing, truly amazing, isn't it? Okay, so friends, now see you in the next. Till then, keep practicing for the done part, okay. Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class we have created this personal info. Right now I am gonna working for this menu, which is just at the bottom. Very first, profile, resume, portfolio, contact. So right now I am gonna working for this menu. So first I'll be finding its main class, and after finding the class we'll do the styling. So let's do. Right now I am on the index page, and here as you can see we have the markup called name. Inside the name we have class menu. So right now I'll be styling all the menu like menu, tabs, everything from very scratch. So why waiting? Let's do right now. I'm just coming to the style.css, and here on the style.css what I'll be doing, I'm just mentioning a menu which is the main class for the menu bar, okay. Here what I'll do, I'll just put some height for this, something around 100 pixel, okay, and also I'm gonna adding some background color to this like gray color, something like gray colors like ed. This is the hex color code. You can put any color name, whatever you prefer the most. Just coming down to this, right now I'm adding some position like relative. We have a lot more position like relative, absolute, inherit, fixed, sticky, like this, okay. After the position, what I'm adding some padding left, something around 130 pixel, and also I'm adding padding right on the top, okay. So we have 130 pixel. If I show you in the browser, then we'll get the navigation defining. See here, at the very bottom we are getting the navigation defining, and also we are getting some background color like ed. This is the hex color code. Okay, right now we have another class that is called tabs. Let me show you. You can see on the index page we have tabs class under the menu class. So right now just calling this tabs class there. Here I am putting tabs and it will be having some height. Okay, height something around 117 pixel. 170 pixel. You can keep on changing its value. Right now I am adding position like absolute, margin top something around 14 pixel because we need some margin from the top. That's why I am adding margin top, but this time I am adding in the minus because we have to push the menu at the top. Okay, right now I am adding get index like 100. Okay, if I show you in the browser, then we'll get the height as a 117 pixel. Okay, right now we have to work for the menus, which is containing the name and the icons. Let me show you. As you can see, we have main class menu tabs lia. Inside the anchor link we have the icon and the name as well. So right now I am just targeting this anchor link. So what the code will be? Code will be tabs lia. Okay, so let's do. Here I am mentioning tabs lia. Okay, why I am putting this greater than sign? You know why? Because inside the li tag we have anchor link available. That's why I am putting this greater sign. If you want to remove, you can remove it. It's up to you. Just coming inside this, and right now I am adding padding top something around 28 pixel, and then I'm gonna adding some width to it like 115 pixel. Okay, display like inline block, so we'll get all the elements, all the icons in one line, one by one. Okay, after this I'm adding some background repeat. That will be no repeat, obviously. That's why we will not get any repetition there for the icon. And right now I'm putting font size 15 pixel, and then I'm going for the color something around B9. It is something like gray color. You can also put the color name if you know. If you don't know, then you can use Photoshop to out the color or the hex color code. Okay, after the color I am putting text align center. Then I am going for the font weight 580. You can change its value. Text transform uppercase obviously, and then I am adding font family like Roboto condensed. And inside this we have another font family like sans serif. Then I'm adding some line height because we have to shift the icon at the very center. That's why I'm using here line height something around 35 pixel. And then text decoration like none, so we'll not get any bullet or underline just below to the menu's name or the icon. Okay, if I save it and showing you, then we'll get definitely a different look. Yep, you can see all the icons have been changed beautifully. The color has been changed, but the font size and the name are still same. You know why? Because we did not put any font size for these icons. So don't worry, I will be putting that right now. This time I am gonna working for the active, like whenever we'll click on the menu, then that menu will select and the color will get changed. So for that, what I'll be doing, I'm just coming back to the bracket, and right now I am applying the active class over this tabs li. So just putting here tabs li active. So whenever you will click on the menu, then that menu will remain activated and the color of the font size and the text size will get changed. Inside this I am first putting background. Okay, so background will contain some URL obviously. Inside URL I am just putting my location. My image is available inside the image folder and the name is tab.hover.png. Right now I am putting some property like background repeat. That will be no repeat. Okay, if I show you, then we'll get this image right there. Friends, I am providing all the images regarding this course just in the description box, so you can download that easily. Okay. Right now I'm targeting the anchor link because we have to change the color on the activation. So what I'll do, I'll mention here tabs li active A. Active A. Why I'm putting anchor link? Because all the anchor link is containing the menu's name and the icon. That's why I'm putting here anchor link. So first I'm putting color. Okay. Here I'm pressing Ctrl E on the name, on the click of the name, pressing Ctrl E and just selecting this color. Okay. If I show you, then we'll get color definitely. Right now we have to change its font size. So just coming back to the bracket and we'll do the things. Here I am mentioning tabs li. Inside this I am putting this sign li a. Inside the anchor link we have I tag which is containing the font. Okay, so very first I am changing its font size, something around 45 pixel. Okay, and then I am going for the display like block. We have a lot more property. We have a lot more properties for display specifically like block, inline block. Okay, so here I am using display block, and then I'm adding here margin bottom 5 pixel. If I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely our font size bigger. Yes, as you can see, we are getting the font size bigger and it's looking something cool, isn't it? It's amazing. Right now, you can see this image is getting duplicacy. Why we are getting duplicacy? Because we have used this image 2 times. Okay, so right now I am removing this image and then I'll going for the different work. So just I am coming on the index page right now and we have to find the images where we have used. You can see we have 2 images available here like photo and photo1.png. So this li just deleting from here. I am saving it and let you know what we are getting. Yup, you can see one has been removed beautifully. Now we have to align it just to this box, and also we are getting some bullet here so we can remove it easily. Okay, for this I'm gonna using reset plugin. Okay, so just come to the Google and you can see Mio Recent 2.0. Simply search to Google. After searching you will be getting this very first page as I am getting right now. I scroll the page and at the very bottom we have Mio Resets cdnjs.com. Make sure to click over it. After clicking you will get this page as I am getting right now. Okay, at the very bottom we have reset.min.css. Simply make a copy, come back to the bracket, go at the very top. Okay, just top to this font family. Here add link. Inside the link hyperreference, just pasting the copied link like this. Okay, let's have a look. Yep, friends, it's fixed and it is amazing, truly amazing, isn't it? Okay, so we have done this part. Okay, right now we'll go for this part, like we have the name and the designation, so we have to fix it beautifully. Okay, so we can do it easily. For that we need to find its classes. Okay, so we have 2 classes available there on the index page. Very first we have logo and then we have the heading and the subheading like graphic and web designer. So just coming to the index page and let you know what we have to make the changes. Okay, as you can see, very first we have the ID called logo, which is containing the heading tag like H2 and also H4. So right now I'm gonna working for these names. Okay, so let's do. Coming to the style.css, and right now very first we have the ID called logo. This logo will contain some basic properties. Logo. Okay. Here I am mentioning float like left, and then I'm putting overflow hidden, obviously margin left, 10 pixel. First, I am indenting it beautifully, then we'll do the things. Here I am putting margin left something around 10 pixel, obviously, and then I am putting some display like none. So on the main page we will not get any name right there. Let's have a look. Yep, we have removed it successfully, right? Right now, what I'm gonna doing, I'm just working for the H4, which is containing the designation. Let's have a look. Here we have H4. This will be containing some property like color, line height, font family, font size, margin left, everything. So just coming to the style.css, and right now I'm calling the main ID called logo. Inside this we have another heading tag like H4. Right now I'm putting some color to this like has 666 or 555. It's up to you what we select. Okay. And then I'm using some line height something around 20 pixel obviously, and then I'm using some font family like Oswald. Spelling must be correct, and another one will sans serif. Right now I'm putting some font size 20 pixel, and then I'm going for the margin left 7 pixel. Friends, you can keep on changing its value, it's up to you totally. You can see we have used display property. Just delete it and save it and take a look what we are getting. As you can see, we have done this part. Okay, we have done this part. Right now we don't need here. So what I'll be doing, I'm just making a display like none, so it will removed. Okay, so finally we removed it. Right now what I'm doing, I'm just going for the different work. So what is that? Just take a look. Hi, welcome back. Friends, in the previous class we have created this beautiful section. Right now I'm gonna aligning all the elements in a shape, and also I'll be working for this menus. Okay, so let's take a look at what I'm gonna creating here in this class, then we'll move further. As you can see, all the elements are coming inside the shape, okay, and all are properly aligned. So in this class, what I'm gonna doing, I'm just aligning all the elements in the shape, and also I'm gonna working for this menus. As you can see on the hover or on the active class, we are getting some background, and also on the icon we are getting bounce animation effect. So right now first I'll be aligning all the elements in the shape, and also I'll be working for this menus with some keyframe. Okay, so while waiting, let's get started. I'm just coming back to the bracket. There we will come to know in which class all the elements are available. Okay, so while waiting, let's get started. As you can see right now, I'm just on the index page. I'm scrolling the page and going at the top to find in which class all the elements are coming. Okay, so as you can see here we have main ID that is called container. So this container ID I'm just calling there in the style.css to put a specific property from the CSS3. Okay, so it's great. Just coming to the style.css, and I'm at the top right here. After the body tag or the selector, I'm just calling the ID that is container. It will be having some CSS3 properties. So first I am putting margin like 0 auto. Why I am putting this? Because we have to align all the elements at the vertically centered, and it's amazing. Thereafter I am gonna adding some width like something around 860 pixel. Okay, 860 pixel. You can keep on changing its value to get the perfect result. Right now I am putting some margin bottom to this like something around 20 pixel obviously, and then I am going for the margin top like something around 30 pixel. Okay, so if I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely a different look. Let's have a look. As you can see, all aligned beautifully, isn't it? It's truly amazing. But for now we are not getting all the menus with some hover effect, and also our icons are not animating like bounce. So what I'll do, I'll just coming back to the bracket, and there we will find its classes and we will define the things. Okay, just coming back to the bracket, going at the top, or before going at the top, I'm just scrolling the page and let you know what we did previously. Friends, as you can see, we have added a class here called active, but this active class is not existing anywhere on the index page. So very first, I am just putting this class called active, then we'll take a look that what we can do better to make the animation and hover effect perfectly working. So just coming to the index page right now, and I am finding my menus, which is right here. Let's have a look. Here we have all the menus are coming inside this nav selector. Okay, right now what I'll be doing, we have anchor link. Inside the anchor link we have another class called tab profile. Just inside this class I am putting another class that is active. Okay, so we have put the active class. Okay, right now I'm just coming to the style.css, and if I show you in the browser, then we'll get definitely a different look. Let's have a look. As you can see, still we are not getting anything. Perhaps we have made some mistakes. So just fixing that. Okay. Right now I am on the index page, and as you can see, we have anchor link. Inside the anchor link we have class called tab profile, and inside this tab profile we have active. So right now I am putting this anchor link together with this class. So just do that. Here I am putting anchor link, and then anchor link is containing the class called tab profile. Tab profile. Okay, and inside this we have another class that is active. If I show you, then we'll get definitely. Yep, friends, you can see we are getting the background image, but still we are getting all the menus without getting any spacing in between them. You can see this icon and this icon is just nearly to each other. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll put some margin and the gapping in between these menus. So just do that. Here you can see we have tabs LIA. This tabs LIA is containing all the menus. So inside this I am putting some margin right. Margin right something around 35 pixel. Okay, and then if I show you, yep, friends, we have put some nice gapping in between the icons, but still we are not getting any active for the menus. Okay, so here I'm just coming, and right now I'm deleting this part from here, and inside this tab profile active I am putting the color. Okay, so first I'm putting black and I'll be changing it to another one. I'm clicking on the color name and pressing Ctrl E, and then I'm selecting the color like this, CF455C. Let's have a look. Yep, color has been changed nicely. It's amazing, isn't it? Right now we have to work for this bounce animation effect. Like icon will keep animating or keep bouncing. Okay, so it's very easy. For this, what I'll do, I'll use some keyframe, and it's very easy. Okay, so let's do. Now coming back to the index page, and let's have a look. Friends, as you can see, inside the anchor link we have class called tab profile, and then we have I tag, which is containing the icons. So right now we have to target this icon. For targeting this icon and all the icons which are coming inside these tabs or the menu, what I'll do, I'll put the main class and the anchor link. So main class we have menu tabs. So right now I'm not calling this, I'm just calling this anchor link with this tab profile. Then we have active class, and after that we have I tag. So what the code will be? Code will be a.tab.profile.active I. Just do that. Here I am mentioning a tab profile. Inside this we have another class that is active, and this active class is also containing the I tag, which is for the icons. Okay, so here first I'm putting animation. It will be having some animation name like bounce, and then it will contain some duration and the property like infinite. If you want to add some prefixes like for other browsers, then you can do that. Like we have 3 or 4 prefixes like WebKit, Moz, Opera, like that. So I'm not gonna adding that, or you can add that. It is just make your website compatible for the other browsers. Okay, leave that. I'm just putting here animation name like bounce, duration like 2 seconds, and then property like animation property like infinite. Okay, so I'm gonna using here some keyframes to animate to bounce that. Here I'm putting @ keyframes. And then we have animation name like bounce. So this name I'm just calling here to put some bounce animation effect. Okay, a spelling must be correct, then it will apply, otherwise it will never gonna apply. Make sure to put that. Now on the 0%, and I am putting all the values for the positions. Okay, so very first I am putting 0% and last, and then I am putting 20%. After that I am gonna adding 50%, and then we are adding 80%. These are the positions to animate the things. Okay, and after this I am gonna adding 100%. Okay, it will have some probability. So very first I am putting transform, and it will contain some translate to y like 0. Okay, and then if I show you, then we'll get some animation there, but I want to make it something like beautiful, like bounce animation effect. Okay, so right now I'm just taking extra spaces to define the things, right? Just putting 40%, and then inside this again I'll be adding some properties from the keyframe from the CSS3. So here I mentioned transform translate to y, and it will be containing 0 pixel. Okay, in the minus, and then I'm gonna adding 60%. Okay, or 59%, it's up to you what you prefer. Here I'm using 59%, right? And it will be having translate y, but this will increase some value. So this time I'm putting 10 pixel. Previously we put 0 pixel in the minus, right now I'm putting 10 pixel. Okay, and I'm just saving it and let you know. Yep, friends, finally we did it. See how cool it is. It is amazing, truly amazing, right? Now in the next class I'm just gonna working for this social media, like when I'll click over it we'll get our items opening same time. Okay, and it's very easy. Then we'll move further for this tab and this tab. So stay tuned, see you in the next. Till then, keep practicing. Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class we have worked for this menu which is containing the animation bounce effect, and also it is containing the background image. Now in this class I am gonna making all the menus working, like when we'll click on the resume, then resume section will appear. When we'll click on the portfolio, then this section will coming up, and then contact like this. So first take a look that what I'm gonna doing right here in this class, then we'll move further. Friends, as you can see, this is the older file which is containing the same design. Okay, and if I click on the resume, you can see it is just bringing up like portfolio, like contact. So right now in this class I'm gonna working for this menus. Okay, then we'll work for all the rest section. Okay, so while waiting, let's get started. Friends, right now I'm on the index page. Okay, and just scrolling the page here, and you can see we have name menu. This name is containing all the menus like profile, resume, portfolio, contact. Right here what I'll be doing, you can see we have put the li tag. Okay, so right now inside this li tag I am putting a class called tmenu. This tmenu class I am calling in the main.js to make a specific changes. Okay, so this li I'm just closing after the anchor link closing right here after. Okay, so just delete this part. So we have separated the li. So what I'll do, again I am putting this tmenu class with li with the rest 3 menus like resume, portfolio, contact. Okay, so just mention here li tmenu. Okay, and this will be closing just after the anchor link closing. Okay, again I am putting li, and this will be having tmenu class. Again we'll close it just after the anchor link closing. Okay, and right now what I'll be doing, I'm just mentioning tmenu here, and we have li tag just at the bottom already, so we'll not put any li tag right now. So we have added a class called tmenu with all the menus including the li specific tag. Right now we have to put some id right here. I am putting the id very first to this like resume. Inside the anchor link, I am putting the ID which is not created yet. I'm just putting to call with the section elements. Okay, so here we have resume. So this resume I am putting with anchor link like resume. Okay, so this resume ID I'll be calling or I'll be creating right now after the ID putting it with the anchor links here. Here we have portfolio. Okay, so I'm putting the ID like portfolio, and here we have contact. So again I'm putting the contact ID inside the anchor link. Now I'm just scrolling the page and you can see we have nav selector closing here. Okay, just after this I'm creating the section and giving the ID name. So here I'm putting section with the ID called resume. We have second menu which is containing the ID like resume. So I'm just calling here. You can see I have put here ID with the anchor link like resume. Okay, so I have put a section here with resume ID. Inside this I am putting some dummy text. Okay, so here I am mentioning lorem 50. Okay, and it's been expanded. If I show in the browser, then we'll get like this. See here, we are getting the text here for the resume. Now I am working for the portfolio contact. Just here I want to make the menus clickable. That's why I am putting dummy text. Once it will start working, then we'll go for the exact design which we are getting to the older file. Okay, so don't worry. Here we have put a resume. Just I am duplicating it 2 more times for the rest menu like we have portfolio contact. So I am duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D 2 times. So 2 times I have duplicated it. Right now I am changing the ID. So very third menu which containing the ID called portfolio. So just here I am mentioning portfolio, and very fourth which is contact, and ID will be contact obviously. Let me show you. As you can see we have ID put here like contact and this portfolio and also this resume. All the IDs I have called there with a specific sections. Okay, now deleting extra spaces which we don't need here. Okay, like this. Now saving it and let you know. Again you can see all the sections are appearing here but menus are not working. Okay, so this time we have to make this resume portfolio contact all the menus working like the existing one I have shown you already. So for this I'm gonna adding some plugins. Okay, so let's follow. I'm coming to the Google and just searching here easy tabs CDN file. After searching you will be getting this very first as I'm getting right now. Very first we have jQuery easy tabs cdnjs.com. Click over it. After clicking you will get this page as I'm getting, and then we have version like 3.2.0. Okay, we have only one version for this easy tabs. Just copy it. Okay, and after copying I am coming to the bracket right now, and just after the main.gist I am putting a script, and this script will be having the source. Okay, I am pasting inside this. Now another plugin which we need, just follow me. Here we have jQuery isotopes.min.js. Make sure to search in Google. After searching you will get this page, and here we have jQuery isotopes cdnjs.com. Click over it and you will get this page. Here we have jQuery isotope. Okay, and here we have the version. Click over this and go at the very bottom like 1.5.25. Click over this, and very second we have this. Simply copy it and come back to the document or the bracket and just mention here a script because we have the JavaScript file. So here I'm mentioning a script source and just pasting inside this. Now it's done. If I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely some changes. Okay, so let's have a look. Friends, still we are not getting any changes. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just come back to the Google, and here I am searching some another plugin that is called jQuery Carrot Cell 6.2.1 pact.js. Simply search it in Google, and after searching you will be getting this page very first, and here very third link we have this. Okay, simply click over it, and after clicking we will redirect at the page where we'll make the copy. Okay, so you can see we have jQuery Carafat cell and we have version 6.2.1. simply make a copy of it and then come back to the bracket, and here I'll be adding it with a script tag. Okay, here I'm mentioning a script and giving the source. Inside this I'm just pasting it. Okay, so we have added a plugin called jQuery Carafat cell 6.2.1. just going at the top, and there we'll find some, we'll put some ID actually. Okay, so you can see all the menus except this profile all are having the ID, like we are getting resume, portfolio, contact, all are the IDs. Okay, so right now I am putting the ID inside this profile. So what it will be, it will be profile. Okay, profile. Now let's have a look. Friends, you can see it is working cool, isn't it? But the menu is not getting selected. Okay, only the very first menu is selected. Okay, and it is working very cool. Why it is working? Because we have added 4 plugins or 3 plugins, and also we have added a custom JavaScript. Okay, let's have a look. Here we have main.js. You can see we have already put the custom JavaScript work. Like first we have put jQuery document method, then we have added some property or the function from the JavaScript like show logo, hide logo, and everything. This is just this much code, like something around 52 lines of code. Okay, if I keep putting this, then it will take a lot more time, so I'm not gonna putting it. Simply make the video pause and write the code, or I'll be providing this file to you in the description box so you can download it easily. Okay, so it's very easy. Okay, so just coming to the index file, and you can see here we have the preview which is containing the very first menu activated and third rest menus are not activating. So we will have to fix this. When we will click on the resume, then resume will get activated and the color will get changed. So how we'll do? We'll come back to the style.css, and here you can see we have menu. All the menus are here. Okay, so just scrolling the page, and you can see we have added tab profile.active. So here I'm changing the class. Okay, very first class we have tabs. Inside this we have li tag, and li tag is containing the active class. Okay, I'm just deleting this color from here. Let's have a look. Yep, friends, you can see when I'm clicking over the menu is getting selected and the section is appearing, isn't it? It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Right now I want to make it something like when we'll click on the menus, then the icon color will get changed. So how we'll do? We'll do it by adding some extra property. So just you can see we have tab li active. Inside this we have anchor link. So just putting tabs li active. Inside this we have anchor link like a, and on the a I am putting color like something this CF455C. Let's save it and take a look. Yep, friends, finally it's working cool, isn't it? All the menus are working perfectly fine. So friends, in this class we have done this part. In the next class I'm gonna working for this resume section which will contain the resume. Let's have a look how the resume will look like. Okay, as you can see we have resume menu, and it is containing this whole resume, and it's truly amazing, isn't it? So in the next class I'll be working for this. So stay tuned, see you in the next. Till then, keep practicing. Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class we have worked for the menus, and all the menus are clickable now. See how cool it is. Right now in this class I'm gonna working for the resume part, which will be having some creative resume. So let's have a look first. Okay, so just coming back to the older file, and you can see we have 4 menus available. Very second we have resume, click over it. After clicking you will be getting this resume as I am getting right now. Okay, so in this class I am gonna creating something like this or exactly like this. Okay, so it's very easy. Very first I'll be creating the markup and then we'll go for the styling to style it. As you can see at the very left side we have 4 color switcher available which is containing 4 different colors, and it is clickable. When you will click over it you will get all the color getting changed. So right now in this class I am gonna working for this resume part, and then we will style it, and then if needed then we will add JavaScript file, okay, to make it clickable. So while waiting, let's get started. I am just coming to the newer file, and you can see when I am clicking over the menus our section is appearing, but behind to this text we are not getting any background color like white. So right now I am putting white background to this text, and then we'll work for the resume part. Okay, so while waiting, let's get started. I'm just coming back to the bracket, and this time we need to find the main class which is containing all the image, text, personal info, everything, to add some background color like white. Okay, so let's find. Very first we have the id called container which is containing all the parts, and after this we have another part that is content, and this content id is containing profile, about, photo inner, image, title, description, designation, personal info, everything. So right now what I'll be doing, I'm just calling this id to the style.css to add some background color like white. So while waiting, let's do. I'm just going at the very top, and you can see we have defined already a id called container. Just after this I'm calling another id that is content. This will be having some background color like white. Okay, so just putting here. If I show you in the browser, then we'll get definitely background color. Let's have a look. As you can see, we are getting the background color just behind to the text. It's amazingly great, isn't it? Right now I have to work for this resume part. So very first what I'll be doing, I'm creating simple markup, and then we'll go for the styling and then JavaScript to make the color switcher working. Okay, so here I'm on the bracket and just going to the index page, and I am finding my main id that is called resume. So let's have a look. Here you can see we have defined the id called resume. Inside this we have p tag, just deleting it because we don't need right here. Inside this, very first I am putting some custom class and the id if needed. Okay, so let's do. Very first class which I am putting here is timeline section. Okay, this class is not existing anywhere. I'll be styling it later on. Inside this again I am putting another class that will be main wrapper resume. Okay, and just after this I am putting card title. Friends, all the classes what I am putting here are not existing anywhere. I'll be styling it later on. This time I am working for the color switcher. Like color switcher is getting 4 different colors. So for that I am just putting custom class here called color box. Okay, color box. Inside this I'm creating the button which will contain the color. Okay, and button will also contain the different id. So just mentioning button with a id called red color. This red color, this button will contain red color, and also I'm putting some class to it like button style to style it later on. Right now what I'll be doing, I'm just duplicating it 3 more times because we are getting 4 color right there. So I'm just duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D multiple times as you want to duplicate the selected code. Okay, so we have red color. After this we have different color that will be a yellow color, obviously yellow color, and then I'm adding blue color, green color. Okay, and after this we need different button that is for the setting icons which is just rotating there. Let me show you. As you can see we have added 4 button like this, and right now I have to work for this settings icon. So what I'll do, I'll just duplicate it one more time by pressing Ctrl D, and here I'll be changing its class name and everything. Okay, so let's do. Here I'll be changing its id very first, and here I'm putting the id like setting icon. And after this we have to add some icons like setting icon. So what I'll do, I'll just remove this part from here, and after removing, inside the button tag I am putting I tag, which will be having a class called FA font awesome, and for setting icon I am using here FA-COG. It means we'll get setting icons there. Okay, if I show you this time, then we will get icon right there. Let's refresh it. As you can see, we are getting 4 color palette here, but this is not color, and here we have the icon called settings. Now we have to rotate it, keep rotating it. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll be using a specific class from font awesome, that is FA-spin. What it will do, it will just animate your icons continuously. Okay, so we have worked for the color box. Right now I'm gonna working for the different part. Okay, like this. Let me show you. As you can see, we have worked for this markup. Okay, right now I'm gonna working for this text like Tim Wilson, creative designer, and then we have para text. So we'll create this part and then we'll go for this one like address. So just do here what I'm doing, I'm creating a class called container, and this container class will be having some booster for predefined class called no padding. So we'll not get any padding there. So I'm putting here no padding. Inside this I'm putting another class that is row, and it is predefined already. Okay, inside this I'm putting no margin, so we'll not get any margin there. Okay, inside this what I'll be doing, I'm taking some column. Okay, so call MD6. Here I am taking the row of 6 column with medium size. Col miss column, MD miss medium, and here I am taking 6 column. Right now I am just here also calling some predefined class from bootstrap 4, that is no padding, and also I am adding some another class that is busy color next, or any other like left. You can put any class name whatever you prefer, but make sure to call same class whatever you putting on the index page, then it will be targeted, otherwise it will never gonna target. Okay, so we have added no padding, busy color left. Okay, inside this I'm taking extra spaces to define the things. Right now I'm putting left name. This is the class which will contain the name like designation and everything. Okay, after the left name I'm adding another class that is called color1. This class will contain some gray color to the left side. Okay, inside this I'm putting the name like h2. This is the heading tag, and this will be having the name. So here I'm mentioning team, and then I'm adding a span tag. It will be having some another class and also the name. So here I'm mentioning Wilson, and inside this span tag I'm mentioning class called text center or text color. So I'll be defining this text color class inside the style.css to make some different changes. After the h2, what I'll be doing, I'm just taking another heading that is h5, and it will be having some designation like creative designer. Okay, after this we need the para tag. It will be having some dummy text. So here I'm mentioning 20. Okay, if I decrease the font size, we'll see. Friends, as you can see, till now we are not getting anything. I am just refreshing it. Yep, we are getting the name, designation, and the para text. Okay, now we have to also work for some address. Let's have a look. As you can see, we have worked for this markup. Right now we have to work for the phone address emailers. Okay, so I'll be creating it by putting some different classes. Okay, so why waiting, let's do. After this div, what I'll do, I'll just duplicate this part, or without duplicating, what I'm doing, I'm mentioning a class here and giving a class name to it like left address. Inside this left address, I'll be putting some UL on order list everything. Okay, so UL, this will be containing li will be containing a span with some classes like other class like text color. Okay, Let me indent it properly, then we'll do the things. Here I'm just selecting the part from section to section and then I'm indenting it. I'm pressing shift tab button. Shift with tab button. You can see it is just getting the space covered here. Okay. So we have added here. Here we have added text color. Just what I'll do, I'll duplicate it 2 or 3 more times as the needed. Okay, so just duplicating like this. Right now, inside this very first span, I'm adding some text like phone number. Okay, after the span tag closing, I'm just gonna adding some numbers. Okay, you can put any number which is original actually. Okay, after this li I'm gonna working for this li. Okay, inside the span tag what I'm doing, I'm mentioning address. Okay, and then after the closing span tag just taking extra spaces, and inside this I'm putting the address like Dermis, Japan. So this li is closed here. Just what I'll do, I'll again take li, and li will contain span, then the class like text color. Inside the class I'm just changing the class name, and here we have a span tag. Inside the span tag what I'll do, I'll just mention here text name like email us, and after the span closing tag I am mentioning. Till now you can take a look what we are getting right now. Yes, I'm refreshing it one more time and see. Finally we put some text here like Team Wilson creative designer this and this. Okay, right now we have to work for the different parts. Okay, so we'll do it right now. Friends, till now we are working for the left part. Like as you can see here we have the left part. So till now we have done the markup for this name, designation, para text, address, and then we are going to work for the experience. After this we will put some text like this. Okay, so let's do. So after this div we have left address, just deleting extra spaces to define the things. We have this div, and after this closing div I am taking another class that is x heading. Okay, and inside this we'll put all the text like experience we have, and then the year wise. So here we will put heading tag, and this heading tag will contain the name like experience. Okay, after this x heading I'm adding another class that is x box. You can put any class name. Okay, inside this x box what I'll do, I'll take heading tag h2, and then I'm just duplicating it and mentioning here h4. All will contain different name, different elements. So inside the h2 I am putting the year like 2020, and also I'm mentioning 10 actually here. You can put anything. Okay, now inside the h4 I am putting some dummy text or the designation like project manager. So we put project manager. After this I am taking p tag for the para text. Inside this I am putting some dummy text like something around 15 words, and we are getting right now. Okay, now again what I'll be doing, I'll be duplicating it 3 more times just by selecting like this and pressing Ctrl D, and you can see it's duplicated. Now you can change the year as it's up to you. Again I'm duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D, and it's been 2 times. Now again I'm duplicating it, Ctrl D. So it's been duplicated 4 more times. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely all the text right there. Let's have a look. Yep, friends, finally we put all the text here. This time what I'll be doing, I'm gonna working for the right part here. As you can see in the file we have left part done. Okay, and right now I'm gonna working this right part which is containing some text some text, some circles, and progress bar and everything. Okay, so it's very easy. Let's do. Here I'm scrolling the page and you can see we have a lot more spaces, so just delete it. Okay, it's not looking something cool, isn't it? Okay, so we have Xbox closing right here. After this we have this div which is containing the left part. Let's take a look. I am clicking on this closing div and let's take a look where this class is getting started. So we have this call MD6 no padding busy color left. Okay, so right now we have to work for the rest column as we have 12 columns in the row system of bootstrap for bootstrap 3. So right now we have remained 6 because we have applied 6 column with medium size. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna applying 6 rest with the right area. Okay, so we'll do it right now. Just going at the way down and you can see we have this div which is containing the 6th column. Right now I am mentioning here column d6 for the rest column. Okay, so here again I'll be doing no padding. Okay, and this will be containing busy color right, busy color right. Okay, inside this I am gonna working for the skills, like we are getting Photoshop, Illustrator like this. So all the skills I'm just calling here. Okay, so inside this I am just putting some class which is not defined yet, like top skills. Inside this again I am putting a skill name which will be having the name of the skills like Photoshop, Illustrator, Dreamweaver like this. So a skill name. Inside this again I'm taking SN class and this will be having the name like Photoshop. PS stands for Photoshop right now. Okay, so we have a skill name. After the skill name I'm just calling the ul and this ul will contain li 5 more times. I'm just letting you know that why I'm putting li 5 more times. I'm duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D and you can see we have applied 5 li. Let's have a look why we are putting here. Friends, as you can see we have 5 bullets, the 5 circles available just below to this skills name, like you can see 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so like this we will create this circle. So likely we will create these circles by using li tag. Okay, so we have used 5 times li for this circle. After this ul I am putting another skill name, that is Illustrator, like Adobe Illustrator. So what I'll be doing, I'm just making copy of it. Okay, and we have ul and this we have top skills. I am selecting from here to here and pressing Ctrl D. So it's been duplicated. Now only will change the skills name. So here I am putting AI Adobe Illustrator. Then we have another like this, and after this we have another. You can put Dreamweaver, you can put anything, whatever. I'm just showing you how you can do it easily. Okay, here I am putting another one, that is S. If I show you then will not get anything, only the name will come there. Let's have a look. I'm refreshing it and let you know. You can see we are getting here PS AIFS. So they are the skills name. Okay, you can change it later on, it's up to you totally. Right now I'm gonna adding some text. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Friends, right now we have done this part like PSAIFS. Right now I'm gonna working for this my skills which is containing some name like Photoshop, MS Office, Illustrator, HTML, and it is containing the progress bar. So for this I'll be using some bootstrap properties and also I'll be adding some classes. After this we'll go for this interest, then some icons, and then after we have education like this. So why waiting? Let's do. It's very easy. Simply come back to the bracket and right now I'm just doing everything from scratch. So I'm deleting extra spaces which we don't need here. Just select it and delete it. Okay. Okay, after this closing div, I am taking another class that is called write skills. Write skills. This will be having some another class from bootstrap that is called row, and inside this I am putting some class called no margin. So we'll get no margin there. Inside this just I am taking 12 column with medium size from the row of bootstrap. So here I am mentioning call md12. Here I am taking full row occupied. Inside this I am putting another class that is called heading skills, and this will be having no padding obviously. Okay. Here I am taking h3, which is the heading tag. Inside this I am putting my skills, and all the skills I am just putting right here. So we have row no margin, just taking extra spaces, and this time what I'll be doing, I am duplicating it 3 or 4 more times as the needed. So just selecting it and pressing Ctrl D, and it's been duplicated. Friends, very first we have occupied 12 column with medium size. This time I am gonna occupying some different column. So here I am taking 5 column with medium size, okay, and no padding will obviously here. So just deleting this heading skills from here, and we don't need here, okay. So we have put no padding, okay. So my skills, inside the my skills what are you doing, I am putting another text like Photoshop. You can change anything, okay, it's up to you, Photoshop. And then this time what I'm doing, I'm just working for the skills bar like progress bar. We are getting D, okay. So it's very easy. What are we doing this time, here we have row no margin. Inside this we have column, okay. So just inside this row specifically I'm gonna adding some another row. We have occupied 5 column with medium size. Now we have remained 7 more to be created. So what I'll be doing, I'm just taking here call md with 7 column medium 7 column with medium size in the row of a specific, okay, here. So inside this call md7 again what I'll be doing, I'm putting no padding. So we'll get no padding there, okay. Inside this I'm putting progress. This is a predefined class in the bootstrap 4 and bootstrap 3 as well, okay. Here I'm mentioning progress bar, and we'll get progress bar there. Inside this I'm putting some predefined class for the color in the bootstrap 4, that is busy warning, background warning. So we'll get something like yellow color or light yellow color, okay, busy warning. After this I'm just adding another class which is from bootstrap, and it is defined already. So here I'm mentioning progress bar a strip. So we'll get a strip there in the progress bar obviously. Now I'm putting some role to this like progress bar. You can put it and just leave it, it's up to you. Progress bar. Here we have to expand the area. Here we have to expand the progress area. So what I'll be doing, I'm mentioning area value now, which will be having something like 60, okay. Minimum value I'm putting here area value min means minimum, okay. This will be 0 obviously, and then area value max area value max will be 100 obviously. Then a style will be 60%. Here I am putting width like 60% actually. If I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely our progress bar there, okay. So I'm just showing you, okay. I'm coming back to the file and showing you. Right now what I'll be doing, I'm refreshing it. Friends, you can see my skills Photoshop, and it is coming right here, okay, but it is not gonna expanding. You know why? We have made some mistakes there. So we'll be taking a look where the mistake is, okay. Friends, here we have made the mistake, okay. Let's have a look. As you can see at the very top we have busy color right, which is containing all the things from the right side, okay, and this class or this div is closing just here, as you can see. So we don't have to close here, we have to close just after the right skills ending, okay. So just scrolling and putting here deep, okay. Now if I show you, then we'll get definitely there. So let's delete extra spaces and then take a look. Yep, friends, you can see I'm just refreshing it to take a look. So right now we are getting my skills Photoshop here. Okay, and this is the script. We have used bootstrap class called progress bar script, so we are getting colorful. Okay, okay, now we have to work for the rest. Okay, so we'll do it right now. Here I have to take a look all the div we are closing. Okay, okay, so we have this div here. Just take a look where it is starting. So we have right skills here. After this we have row no margin. Okay, here we have row no margin, obviously. Just okay, here we have row no margin, just duplicating it multiple times. I am taking extra spaces and then we'll do the work. Okay, so here we have row no margin, just duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D, and it's been duplicated. Right now I'm changing the skills name. Like here I'm putting MS Office, MS Office, Microsoft Office. Okay, let me indent it beautifully, and you can change it everything, it's up to you. Okay, again I am duplicating it one more time and changing the skills name. This time I am putting some another skills, that is illustrator, illustrator, illustrator. And after this again I'll be duplicating it one more time for HTML. Here I am putting Photoshop, Photoshop. Okay, friends, we have added two classes here, row and no margin. After this I am adding some margin top with 25 pixels. So here I am putting empty 25. This will stand for margin top like 25 pixel. Okay, so this is defined already. Okay, friends, right now just take a look at what we are getting. I am just refreshing it. Yep. Friends, finally we are getting my skills Photoshop, MS Office, Illustrator, HTML, Photoshop. And right now we have to work for the rest. Let's have a look. You can see we have put Photoshop. Now we have to put MS Office, Illustrator, HTML again. Same thing again we have to do. So again I'm coming right here and just doing the things. First take a look. Is it exact? Yep. We are getting. Here I am just doing same thing again and again. Again I am duplicating it one more time by pressing Ctrl D, and this time I am indenting it, and this will not be here like empty 25. We turn it here. Okay, this will be having like illustrator, illustrator, and then we'll go for the rest one like HTML and everything. Here I am taking the heading tag. Here I am changing the heading tag like H4. Here I am putting H4, and this will be H4 obviously. And again I am working for this H4, and this will be H4. This will be H4 as well. Okay. Now let's take a look. As you can see, we are getting Photoshop, Illustrator, HTML. Everything looks cool, isn't it? Here I am putting MS Office. Okay, MS Office. And then we have HTML. Okay, so just duplicate. So just duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D, and this time I'm indenting it. This will be HTML. Okay, let's have a look. Saving it and coming back to the browser, and you can see we have added here nicely, like Photoshop, Illustrator, MS Office and HTML. So we have put here 8 skills nicely. This time we have to work for the different part. Okay, so just take a look what we are gonna doing right now. As you can see, we have interests, which is containing 6 different icons with the name, and also we are getting some text, barcode reader and address. Okay, so we'll do it right now. Friends, till now we have done only the HTML markup. After this I'll be going for the styling, then JavaScript to make this color switcher working. Okay, so let's do. Here what I'll do, here we have div. Okay, so here again I'm creating some class which is defined already. Very first I'm putting a row, and this will be having some no margin, and also we are getting some margin from the top, that is margin top 25 pixel. Okay, MT stands for margin top. Okay, so inside this row again I'm taking some column with 12 and medium size, column is 12, column medium 12, and inside this I'm putting some heading as skills. This is a class which is not defined yet. Inside this I'm putting no padding, so we'll get no padding there. Okay, right now I'm putting heading tag like h3, which will contain the name like interests. Okay, so we have div here, and after this div what I'm doing, and after this div again I am taking another class or another column, so we will put it right now. Here I am mentioning col md4 4 column with medium size, and inside this also I am putting some different class, like this is the class actually interest, you can put any name. Okay, and then the interest box, actually interest, you can see here we have put. So here I'm changing the class name like interest box. Okay, inside this we'll put some class like interest box. It will be having the icon, so here I'm putting I tag, which will be containing the class like fa font awesome plain. Very first we have plain icon. Now taking some line break, for taking line break I am adding br tag 2 more times. Okay, and just I am putting a heading tag like h5, which will be containing the name like table, and like this. So we have div here like col md4, just duplicating it as we needed. I am just selecting it when pressing Ctrl D, it's been duplicated. And this times here I am not putting box actually, because 2 times I have already put same things. So just deleting this and putting here interest icons. Same class you cannot put 2 times for the same things. Okay, here again I am putting icons. This will be having another class for the icons like headphones. This will be music. Duplicating it one more time, and this time I'm changing the class name, not class name actually, I'm changing the icon class. Okay, so here I'm just deleting this from here and mentioning file video o. This is the class name for the icons. You can just take a look in the font or some cheat sheet. Okay, it's up to you. Here I'm putting the name like video. video. Till now if I show you, then we'll get definitely some different changes there. Let's refresh it. As you can see, all the icons are visible up right here. So here I am just duplicating it 3 more times. Control D, and again I am duplicating this part. Control D and Control D. So we have duplicated 3 more times. Only we'll change the icon name. So here I am changing the icon name like something different. So here I am mentioning FA bicycle by FA font awesome bicycle. Okay, and here we'll put some text like cycling here as well. Friends, let's have a look. I'm refreshing it. You can see all the items, all the icons have been put beautifully, isn't it? Right now we have to work for the barcode, and also we'll go for the different section. Okay, so for that what I'll be doing, I'll be just creating some class, and that will be having some different part. Okay, so I'm coming back to the bracket and just deleting extra spaces from here. Okay, friends, here deleting extra spaces and then doing the work. Here we have this div. Okay, just taking extra spaces. Now what I'll be doing, I'm checking this div where it is starting. Okay, so just going at the top, I am very first clicking on the closing div like this and going at the very top to find where it is starting actually. Okay, so you can see we have a class called write skills. It is selected already. When you will click on the closing div, then it will notify you that this class were starting. Okay, so we have this div right there. We have to go for work. After the closing div here, what I'll do, I'll just take extra classes to define the write skills or the education parts. Okay, so here I am putting undefined class, that is education right. This will be having some different class again. Here I am mentioning row and no margin. Inside this I am putting some column with medium size like 12 column. Again I am putting some undefined class, that is heading skills. Okay, and then no padding. Here I am putting heading tag like H3, which will be containing the name like education, like what we have learned till now. Okay, so we have put heading like H3. After this I am putting Xbox. Okay, inside this Xbox I am taking H2, which will contain the year name. Okay, so H2 heading tag I am just putting here, and then I am mentioning 2000, and you can put anything. Okay, heading tag. Now again I'm duplicating it 1 more time, and this time I'm changing the heading tag like H5, and this will be having some different designation name. So here I'm mentioning project manager. Okay, and after this I'm taking p tag, which will be having some text like 15 words. Okay, it's up to you what we needed actually. So here we have added the p tag. Now after this div, we will just, what I'm doing, here we have education right, and here we have row no margin. So just coming inside this, like after the education right, here I'm just creating some another class, that is address, which will be containing the barcode actually, and then the address. So here I'm mentioning address QR right. Inside this I'm putting row and then no margin. This will be having some column MD, column with medium size like 5, and then we'll put no padding. Here I am mentioning QR box, which will contain QR image, actually QR box. Here I am putting image source, and this will be having inside the image folder, that is qr.png. Okay friends, all the images will be provided to you, so don't worry, you will have to just use that. Okay, so we have call md 5. Just here I am taking another column. Friends, I have already occupied 5 column with medium size. Right now we have remained 7 more, because in bootstrap grid we have 12 column system. Okay, so right now again here I am putting call. First I am scrolling it and then mentioning call md7. This will be containing some padding like no padding. Inside this I am putting address right box. All the classes which I am putting here are not existing anywhere. I'll be styling it later on. Here inside this li I am putting I tag, which will be containing the font or some icons like font like fa font square. Inside the I tag I'll not be putting anything, just taking p tag, which will be containing some numbers like this. Okay, again I am duplicating this li 2 more times or 3 more times as needed. So I have duplicated it, just changing the class name here, like I am putting envelope. Oh, so we'll get envelope icon there. Inside the p tag I am putting some site URL. Okay, again I am duplicating it one more time by pressing Ctrl D and changing the class name. Here I am mentioning map marker fa dash map marker, so we'll get some location icon there. This will be containing some text. Okay, now I am showing you first delete extra spaces which we don't needed. Deleting spaces and then going for the taking a look. Okay, just take a look. So just take a look. Friends, I'm just refreshing it. Friends, you can see we are getting everything defined beautifully, isn't it? Now in the next class, I'm gonna working for the styling to style it nicely. So I hope you enjoying this. So stay tuned, see you in the next. Till then, keep practicing. Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class we have worked for this resume, and you can see it is simple markup. Okay, right now in this class I am gonna working for styling it beautifully. Okay, so this time we are getting simple markup. Right now we have to make some changes to it. Okay, so while waiting, let's get started. I am coming to the bracket right here and first indenting everything, then we'll go for the rest work. Okay, so we have this and this. Right now we have to find the resume ID, then we'll go for the rest work. So you can see we have resume here, resume. This is containing all the simple markup. Okay, so just scrolling the page and going at the way down there, I'll be changing some heading tag. Okay friends, as you can notice we have top skills and it is just containing a skill name. Right now what I'll be doing, I'm just removing this div from here and putting just after the eval closing div. Okay, and here again I'm doing for the rest 3-1. So we have div, just deleting, adding here, and then I'm scrolling the page and again doing the same work. Okay, likely this. So finally we have made some changes. Right now just scrolling the page and you can see we have put here H3 photos of everything. So we can change it to H4 actually. So I'm just putting H4 right here. I am changing its heading tag. Okay. H4. And here as well. Okay. So all looks fine. Now we can go at the very top. We can go at the very bottom and there we'll make some changes. Friends, here we have education, right? Inside this we have this row. So what I'll be doing, I'm just duplicating it one more time by selecting whole row like this and pressing Ctrl D. Now I'm indenting it beautifully, then we'll do the rest work. So finally we indented all the things nicely. If I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely. Let me come at the very top and let you know where we have missed a div. Okay, so here I am putting div extra again. Now we'll not get any error there. Okay, I'm just saving it and let you know what we are getting right now. I'm clicking over this menu like resume and you can see all the markups are coming up right here. Now in the next class I'm gonna working for the styling to style it beautifully. So stay tuned, see you in the next. Till then keep practicing. Friends, till now we have done this part like markup. Right now I'm gonna adding some CSS3 plugin to make it working. Okay, so while waiting, let's do. I'm coming to the bracket and just at the very top we have a style.css right here. Just after this I am putting link and giving the reference of CSS. Inside this CSS folder we are getting a style-main.css. If I save it and show you in the browser, then we will get definitely this resume section working. Yep, friends, you can see all has got aligned beautifully. Okay, so friends, we have added a plugin called a style-main.css3 and it is fixed. Right now you can see at the very left side we have setting icons rotating. So right now we have to work for this. We have to make it something like when we'll click over this, then our color switcher is just popping up. Okay, so let's do. For this I'll be using some JavaScript. So while waiting, let's do. I'm coming to the main.js and here I'll be doing everything. So just here I am mentioning all the things, like as you can see we have this. Okay, here I'm putting $sign and inside this I'll be putting my main class. We have ID actually that is called yellow color, which is existing on the style-main.css plugin which we have linked already. Okay, and inside this I'm putting click function which will contain some function from the JavaScript. Okay, and this will be I'm calling the event with the function. Okay, so here I am mentioning dollar again and we are having another class. So I'll be putting the class in the double quote with the dot wrapper resume. This class is existing on the index page. Okay, now I'm putting some attribute which is containing some ID and the class or the ID name. So here I am putting the ID in the double quote and this will be having separated by comma and then the class or the main class which will contain the color name. Okay, now again I am duplicating it one more time by pressing Ctrl D. This time I am working for the red color. This red color ID is already existing on the style-main.css, which is the plugin which we have linked already. You can see we have a style-main.css which is containing almost all the classes which I am calling there. Okay, you can see we have the ID called yellow color, color box, all the classes are existing here. We have red color which is calling right there. And if I go at the index page, then you will come to know that we are getting all the ID which I am putting right there. So let's have a look. As you can see, we have main wrapper resume which I have called there in the main.js. And after this we have ID like red color, yellow color, blue color, green color. So all the ID whatever have been put here, I am just calling there to make the JavaScript linked. Okay, so I'm coming to the main.js and we have called red color which is the ID there. Okay, and here I'm changing as well, so we'll get red color changed on the click. After this we have remained two more color, that is blue color and the green color. So just mention here blue which is the ID existing in the resume ID section which I have shown you already. Here I am mentioning blue color and here as well. Just making a selection and duplicating it one more time by pressing Ctrl D. This time I am changing this color name to the green. And here the green as well. And here green as well. Now we have a now I'm just coming to the index page to let you know what we have to call right now to make the things clickable. Friends, you can see this button class is containing the setting icon which is rotating by putting this class called fa-spin. This is the predefined class from the font awesome. Okay, so whenever I will put this fa-spin inside the icon class, then that icon will keep rotating without using any keyframes. Okay, and this is the class for the setting icon. Right now I am calling this setting icon to put some toggle effect. When we will click on the icon like settings, then all the color picker will coming up. Okay, so let's do. Here on the main.js, what I'm doing, I'm just putting some document.ready method and then defining the things, or it is already put, so I'm not gonna putting. Here I'm mentioning $, and inside this I'm putting double quote, and this will be having the class name called setting icon. And right now I'm putting click function. Okay, function. Inside this again putting $, and then the class name like color box, and then on this I'm putting toggle class. So when we'll click on this, then we'll get our setting icons working. Okay, if I show you, then we'll get definitely that things working. I am clicking on the resume and you can see I am clicking over it. Yep, friends, it is working nicely. Now we will select the color, so I'm clicking on it. Yep, you can see the color is getting changed except this my skills. Okay, so let's take a look for the different one. Yep, it is working. Friends, I want to make this part like my skills to get changed with the color. So what I'll do, I'll come back to the bracket and going at the index page to find where the mistake is done. Okay, so as you can see, we have progress bar right here which is containing some class called busy warning, but we have misspelled here. Okay, so here I'm putting warning, and here I'm putting right now, and here as well. So we have added the warning class exactly with the perfect spelling. Okay, now I'm saving it and let you know. Clicking on the resume and you can see it is just sliding. Right now we have remained 3 more to be done. So just coming here and let's find, here we have, okay, warning, saving it and let you know. Clicking on the resume and you can see all the color for the progress bar has got changed. Now clicking on it and you can see we have color picker and it is applying with the my skills as well. We have 4 color switcher and all are working perfectly fine, isn't it? Friends, in the next class I'm gonna working for the portfolio. Okay, so it's very easy. I'll be creating this, then I'll be going for the contact. So stay tuned, see you in the next. Till then, keep practicing. Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class, we have worked for this resume section and it is working really cool, isn't it? Right now in this class, I'm gonna working for this portfolio section which will be containing the portfolio. Okay, so before doing anything, just take a look at what this portfolio section is containing. Okay, so while waiting, let's take a look. Friends, as you can see, this is the older file. Inside this we have portfolio tab, and you can see this is a portfolio which is containing 8 different images with some menus like all web design, photography, illustration, print, animation. If we click over it, then it will be filtered. See here. So in this class, I am gonna creating this beautiful portfolio section which will be containing 8 different images and all are clickable. When you will click over it, you will see the images just popping up very next to us. So while waiting, let's create exactly as it is. Right now I'm on the index page, just scrolling the page and going for the portfolio section. Okay, so as you can see we have portfolio right here. What I'll be doing, I'm just coming inside this p tag, and inside this we are just deleting all the paragraph text. Okay, you can see we have section here, just we have to put div extra and we will see we will not get any error there. Okay, so here I'm inside the portfolio section. Here first I'll be creating some class and then I'll be doing the work. Okay. Inside this very first I'm taking UL tag which will be containing the class called extra called cats filter. Inside this I'm putting ID that is portfolio filter. These are the IDs which I'll be defining later on in the main.js to put the gallery filterable. Okay, so inside this UL tag I am putting li tag, and this li will contain anchor link obviously because we have to make the things clickable. Right now I'm putting the menus name. Okay, like we have put all, thereafter we'll come to know web design, photography, illustration, print, animation. Okay, so we'll be doing right now. Inside this anchor link I'm putting a class called current transition. Friends, I have already linked a plugin called Isotopes and Easy Tabs. Let me show you. You can see we have jQuery isotope which will contain some filter effect. Okay, then we have Easy Tabs. So right now I'm just calling a class which is predefined already. So right now I'm just calling a class which is existing in the plugin. So just here I am putting current transition. Inside this I am putting data filter. Inside this I am putting double quote. This double quote will contain universal selector like a star. Why I am putting this a star? Because we have to show all the images in this tab like all. So when we will click on the all, then we will get all the images filtered. That's why I'm targeting the universal selector to target whole images which will be coming inside the portfolio. Okay. Right now again I'll be duplicating it 2 or 3 more times as the requirement is. So just clicking over it and pressing Ctrl D, it's been duplicated. Right now I'll be changing its classes. So here I'm not putting current because by default very first is selected and second will not be selected. When we'll click over it, then it will get selected. Okay. Inside the data filter I am putting web design which is the class name actually, and this web design class I'll be designing or I'll be putting right now by putting this menus name. Okay, inside this I am putting the name like web design. Okay, if I show you, then we'll get 2 menus right there inside the portfolio tab. Okay, so first I'll be defining all the markups, then we'll go for taking a look. So again I am duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D. It's been duplicated. Here all will look similar to this, but here I am just changing the menus name and the data filter name. So here I am putting photography. Now if I show you in the browser, then we'll get only the name like all web design, photography, illustration, print, animation. So let's have a look. As you can see, all the menus are popping up right here. Okay, so right now we have done the menu part. Right now I'm just going for the different text. Okay, so coming back to the bracket, and we have UL closing div right here. Just I'm deleting extra spaces and just coming down to this UL, and then I'm going to define the things. Very first I am putting a class called extra text. This will be containing some text. Okay, like portfolio list. These are the IDs which are not defined anywhere. I'll be calling it later on in the main.js. Okay, so just coming inside this and putting li, which will be containing the class like illustration. You can put any class name, but here I am putting at the top. You can see I have put all the classes which is not existing anywhere. Like we have illustration, photography, then we have print, animation, everything, and these are the classes which is defined with the anchor link. Okay, so this time I'm just targeting this illustration class there. Okay, so while waiting, let's do just coming here and putting tab button, and it will get filtered and it will get expanded. Okay, so li is containing the class called illustration, and inside this again I'm putting another class that is print. So whatever I'll be getting inside the print image, all will come inside the illustration on the click. Okay, right now inside the li tag I'm putting anchor link, and it will be containing the class called folio. This will be containing the image actually. So here I'm putting image and then giving a location like image folder. Inside this we have the image like work 3.jpg. This has got size like 449 by 450. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we'll get the image right there, definitely. Right now, just coming down to this and taking heading tag like h2, this will be containing the class as well. So very first I'm putting hello, goodbye. You can put any text. Okay, it is the heading tag which will contain any text. Okay, right now I'm putting class called title. Let's have a look how what we are getting right now. Coming inside the portfolio, and you can see we are getting the image right here, and at the very below we have the title. Okay, just coming inside the bracket again, and this time I am taking another span tag which will contain the class called category. Okay, a spelling must be correct, then it will apply, otherwise it will never gonna apply. Inside this I'm putting print slash illustration. Okay, now we have closing li tag right here. Friends, right now what I'll be doing, I'm just duplicating it by selecting and pressing Ctrl D, and it's been duplicated. Inside this li I'm putting web design, which is already defined at the top inside the menu. Let me show you. You can see we have illustration, this is the class, and after this we have this web design, and this is already existing. Right now I'm calling web design here, and then I'm changing the class name or the image name actually. So we have image right here, just changing like 3thumb.jpg. If you want to check it size, then you can see here 180 by 120 pixels. It has got some width and height. Okay, now I'm putting the dummy text here, and you can do the same as no time. It will contain web design. If I show you, then we'll get this image right there. Let's have a look. Yes, we are getting the images. Okay, right now again I'm duplicating it and doing the same. Only will change the class name and the image name and the title. It's up to you what we are selecting right now. Now let's have a look what we are getting. I'm just clicking on the portfolio and you can see all the items are just falling here. Right now in this class, very first I'm doing some styling to style it beautifully. Then we'll go for the main.js to make some changes, like we will have to put some function there to make the menus like clickable. Okay, so enough talking, now let's do. Just coming to the bracket and deleting extra spaces which we don't need right here, like this. Okay, what I'll do right now, I'm coming to the style.css and very first I'll be calling all the id and the class name. So very first we have id called portfolio list, so I'm putting here has, and it will be containing the id name like portfolio list. It will get some width actually and then overflowing. So here I am mentioning width like 820 pixel, and right now I am putting overflow like hidden, so we'll not get any overflowing like a scroll bar to the both sides. Okay, inside this portfolio list we have li tag, so just duplicating it, putting li, and this li will contain some different property from the css3, that is floating like left, so we'll get all the float like left, and then I'm putting some margin right like 25 pixel. Okay, and then I'm going for the text align center, and obviously I'm gonna adding some background color like has FB. It is kind of white color. If you know the color name, then you can put the color name like deep sky blue, hot pink, like this. If you don't know, then you can use hex color code. Right now I am putting some border bottom, so we'll get some border bottom like thickness will be 1 pixel and its weight will be solid, and then the color like something like e5, e5. This is the gray color, and height will be something around 185 pixel. Right now I am putting margin bottom 30 pixel, and then I am going for the width like 180 pixel. If I show in the browser, then we'll get definitely different look. Let's have a look. Here we have portfolio, and you can see all the images are getting in shape except this one. Okay, so we will be fixing it. Okay, right now we have to target some different IDs. Very first I'm gonna applying some hover effect on this. Okay, so just mentioning here portfolio list li, and on the li I am putting hover like border bottom 1 pixel, and it will be its weight will be solid, and then the color like CF455C, and also I'm putting some height to this like 185 pixel. Okay, so we'll get the image there obviously. Right now what I'll be doing, I'm just targeting the image source. So image is available inside the portfolio list, which is the ID actually. So just I'm putting the main ID, that is portfolio list, and then I'm gonna adding image. Inside the image I'm putting background color like white, and then I'm going for the height and width. Okay, here I'm putting 185 pixel. Let's have a look. Yep, friends, as you can see, all has got fixed. So just coming to the bracket right now, and this time I'm gonna working for the hover state on the title. Okay, so here I'm putting portfolio list li hover, and inside this hover I'm just targeting the title, which is containing the heading tag like h2 with the name. So it will contain some color for the text that will be something like this. Okay, again I'm just duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D, and this time I'm just removing this hover state from here, and this time we'll do some font size, font weight like this. So here I'm putting font size something around 14 pixel, and then I'm gonna adding some margin top property like 15 pixel, and then also I'm adding font weight like 400 and then I'm adding some color like has 3 a 3 a 3. Okay, let's have a look what we are getting. Yes, you can see we are getting something like this. Now we have another class inside the portfolio list id, that is category. Let's have a look. We have index.html right here, and you can see we have a class inside the span tag, that is category, and this category class is containing all the images right here. Let's have a look here. So right now I'm just targeting this category. So we have main id, that is called portfolio list. Inside the list we have a li tag, and that is containing the category. So just coming to the style.css, and right now I'm putting the main id like portfolio list li, and this li is containing another class, that is category. Okay. Here I am putting font size 11 pixel, then I am putting line height because we have to align it vertically centered. That's why I am putting line height something around 25 pixel. Okay, and then I am adding some color to this like has 999, something like light black color or the gray color. Okay, let's have a look first. See, we are getting the designation like print, illustration, web design, photography, print animation, all the things we are getting with a light gray color. It's something cool, isn't it? Right now coming back to the bracket and just going to the index page, and here we have very first class. Let me show you. As you can see, we have class called cats filter. So this cats filter is containing all the menus name like all, web design, photography, illustration, then we have print, animation. So these are the menus coming inside the class called cats filter. So right now I'm just targeting this cats filter to design these menus. Okay, so just coming to the style.css, and right now just defining the very first class, that is cats filter. This will be containing some border bottom, and this will contain some thickness like 1 pixel, and its height and its weight will be solid, and then the color like ed. Okay, so flow like hidden, and then I'm adding padding like 15 pixels from top to right, and then bottom to left will be 0 obviously. Inside this we have anchor link. This cats filter also containing the anchor link for the menu name. So here I am targeting the anchor link as well. So I am mentioning main class, that is cats filter. Inside this we have li, and this li is containing the anchor link. So right now I am putting some float to this like left, so we'll get all the menus in one line by getting some gapping in between the menus name. So here I'm using float like left. Inside this I'm putting margin right like something around 7 pixel, and then I'm going for the color to this like white, and just mentioning background color like something like this. Okay, you can change it later on. Here I'm putting padding like 10 pixel. Friends, these are the values from the TRBL, top right bottom left. Okay, so you can keep on changing its value. Right now I am putting some margin bottom like something around 5 pixel, so we can decrease or increase, it's up to us. Yep, friends, you can see all are getting in shape, and it's amazing looking, isn't it? But now what I'll be doing, I am putting some font family, and also I'm changing its font size. Okay, and then the background color on the active. So just coming to the bracket, and here I am putting font size something around 13 pixel, so we'll get some less font size, and also I'm adding some font family. Okay, so here I'm adding roboto condensed there. I'm just making a copy of it, going at the way down there. I'm just pasting inside this. Control V, it's been pasted. Okay, now if I show you, then we will get definitely there. You can see all the things has got changed. Now I am putting all the text as a uppercase. So what I'll do, I'll just mentioning here text transform like uppercase, so we'll get all the text as uppercase. Yes, see here. But just below to the text we are getting some underline and it is looking something weird, isn't it? So here what I'll do, I'll mention a cat's filter, and on the cat's filter I'm gonna adding some hover state like cat's filter LIA hover. Here I am putting text decoration like none, so we'll not get any underline there. Yep, you can see we are not getting any underline. Right now I'm just gonna making this menu activated, like when we'll click over this all, then this will get selected with some background color. When we'll click on this web design, then it will get selected, and when we'll click on this, then it will get selected with some background color. Okay, so just coming to the bracket, and we have this cat's LIA hover, just duplicating it by pressing Ctrl D, and just right now with anchor link I am adding class called current. This current class is just existing on the index page. Let's have a look. As you can see, we have very first menu, that is all. It is containing class called current, but this current is not existing for the rest menus. So we have to call this to activate the menu. So just coming back to the style.css, and we have added here a class called current with anchor link. Right now I'm just adding some background color like red color, like this. If I show in the browser, then we will get our menus selected. Here, just coming inside this anchor link, I am putting some border radius to this, like 50 pixel border radius. 50 pixel. Why I am putting border radius here? Because we have to get some edges with circular shape. That's why I am putting. Let's have a look. Yep, friends, finally we transformed it nicely. It is looking so cool, isn't it? As you can see, we are not getting any margin to this side, but this side we are getting too much margin. So we have to align, or we have to put some padding to this section. So very first, you can see we have the main class called, or the ID called portfolio. This is containing all the elements. So very first, coming to the style.css and going at the top there, I am calling the main ID, that is portfolio. So just mentioning here portfolio, this will be containing some padding of 5 pixel all around. Let's have a look what we are getting. Yes, you can see we are getting some gapping here. We need even more. So what I'll do, I'll increase it something like 15 pixel. Now let's have a look. Yep. Now I think we need to put even more. So here I am putting 25. Now I need something like different. So here I am putting 29. Yep. Friends, right now it's looking perfect, isn't it? But the menus which are coming here are not working. Okay. So in this class right now I'm just adding some JavaScript to make it working. Okay. And also we have to transform this text. Okay. So this is available inside the p tag. Okay. Let's have a look on the index page. Just coming to the index and scrolling the page, and you can see we have extra text. Okay, so right now just this class called extra text I am calling there in the style.css to define it nicely. So just going all the way down, this is the class, so it will contain dot definitely, and here I am mentioning extra text. This will be containing some font family, so just making a copy of it and pasting inside this, and this will be text transform like uppercase, so we'll get all the text as uppercase. Yes, it is amazingly great, isn't it? See here, it is looking perfect. Right now you can change its color, and also you can put some padding or the margin bottom to get some gapping. So here I'm putting margin bottom something around 10 pixel. I'm just putting there. And also I'm changing its color something like this. Now let's have a look. Yes, we are getting some gapping, but the color is not getting changed. So I'll be changing it right now. Here I am putting important property that will remove all the privileges obviously, and we did even more. So here I am increasing 10 pixel more, then it will become 20 pixel. Let's have a look. Yes, we are getting nice gapping here, and I think we have to increase some padding even more. So just coming here and mentioning here something like we have padding here. Let's find, we have 29 pixel. Just I'm mentioning here 31 pixel. Okay. So it is perfect. Right now you can see when I'm hovering over it, we are getting some underline and it is not looking perfect. So I'm just coming to the bracket, going at the very top. There I'm adding anchor link, and that anchor link will contain some property. Okay. So here I'm putting anchor link, and this anchor will contain text transform like none, text decoration like none. So we'll not get any decoration like underline there on the anchor link, and also I'm putting on the anchor link hover. Okay, I'm saving it and let you know. Yep, friends, finally we removed all the things like underline from the images and the text. Now if you want to change the title font title font family, then you can do that. Simply come to the bracket and go all the way down. There I'll be doing the things. We have title right here. Just what I'm doing, I'm taking the font like Roboto condensed and just pasting there inside the title, which is right here. Okay. Okay, now it's looking something cool, isn't it? If you want to put some gapping to this, then you can do that. Okay, finally we did it. It's amazing looking, isn't it? Right now, I'm just gonna working for this web design photography illustration to make it clickable. So why waiting? Let's do that. Friends, previously we have worked for this portfolio. See how cool it is. It is looking so cool, isn't it? Right now we have to make this menus working. Like when we'll click over it, then it will get filtered. When we'll click on this, then all the menus will be getting filtered. So right now I'm just doing some JavaScript work. So why waiting? Let's do right now. Just coming to the main.js in the bracket right here and doing the work very faster. Okay, so it's very easy. Let's do. Here I am putting. Okay, Hi, welcome back friends. In the previous class, we have created this beautiful portfolio section. Right now in this class, I'm gonna working for this contact menu, which will contain the Google Map, locations and form. Okay, so let's take a look first what I am doing right now, then we'll move further. As you can see, we have contact menu which is containing the Google Map, form, address. So likely this, in this class I am gonna creating, and this will be the last section. Okay, so let's do. First what I'll be doing, I am coming to the contact section which is right here. After the resume section we have contact section. Okay, so just inside the contact section we have p tag, just removing it. Okay, inside this I am creating the id that is map. This will be containing the map code. So just coming to the Google, searching here Google Maps, and after searching you will be getting very first option like Google Maps. Google Maps, click over it. Right now it is loading. Once it will be loaded, we will see the rest work. So you can see we have set location work. You can set your location and can get your embedded ID. So here I have already set Delhi cantonment. Click on it. As you can see we have various options available. Here we have share icon. Click on this and you can see it is just loading. Click on the embed a map and you can see we have this iframe code. Simply make a copy HTML, click on it, come back to the document, and here inside this map I'm just pasting this. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we will get definitely this map embedded there. Okay, so it's very easy. Right now what I'm doing, I'm just decreasing its width like 300, and if you want to change its height you can do that. I'm just putting it 100%. After this you can allow some changes. Okay, so you can do that. Right now I'm deleting this frame border, or I'm just leaving it. Okay, I'm saving it and coming back to the document to show you. As you can see we have contact menu which is containing the Google Map right now, but it is coming very smaller. Okay, so we will increase its width and everything. Right now I'm just gonna working for this address bar. We will put some address just below to this Google Map, and after that we will use some form for the submitting. Okay, so I'll be doing that. Just coming back to the bracket, and after this div what I am doing, I am creating another class which will contain some different name. So here I am putting contact form or contact info which will contain all the location of the address. Okay, so inside this I am putting heading tag like h3. This will be containing some class like main heading. Inside this I am putting a span tag which will contain the name like contact info. Okay, so we have put the dummy text like contact info. Right now just after this ul I am taking li which will contain dummy text, or you can put the real address. So here I am putting li and just duplicating 4 more times. First you can put the location, then you can put the phone number, email address, then website URL. It's up to you. Okay, if I show in the browser, then we will get these things right there. Okay, after this div which is containing the contact info class, just coming down, and this time I am creating another class that is contact form. Inside this I am taking h3. This will be having a class called main heading, and also I am putting some span tag for the text like let's keep in touch. Okay, after the heading tag closing like h3, just coming down, and this time I am taking the heading tag or the id first. I am taking here that is contact status. Inside this I am putting form, and this will be containing id as well. So here I am putting id like contact form. Okay, now inside the form I am putting p tag, and then I am going for the another class that is form group, or we don't need this p tag here, just deleting it. Okay, inside this ID that is contact form, I'm just putting some different class. So here I'm mentioning class name called form group. Okay, this will be having some input. So just mentioning input type text, this will be containing some name, and the first I'm putting ID that is name. Okay, and then I'm gonna adding some class which is already defined in the bootstrap called form control. Okay, now if I show you, then we'll get one input there. Right now I have to put some dummy text there. So here I'm mentioning label, and then I'm giving some class to this. Okay, so class will be form control, and this will be having some placeholder as well. So here I'm mentioning form control placeholder. Okay, and then I'm putting some for name. You can put it or just leave it. Inside this I'm putting the text like your name. If I save it, then we'll get the input box right there. Let me show you. As you can see at the very bottom, we are getting here, but this is not look like that. Okay, so we will make it something like that by using some CSS3 property. Okay, so we have this form group. Just I am duplicating it two more times or three more times as the requirement is. So I have duplicated it one more time. This time I am changing the ID that will be email. Okay, form control is perfect. Thereafter I have label, and this is containing form control placeholder. Right now I am putting email right here, and then I am going for your email text. Okay, right now I'm just putting label, and this will be having some message box. Okay, so here I'm putting your message. Here I'm putting text area. Inside this I'm putting text area, so just text area. Okay, this will be containing some type. First I'm putting type to this, like first I'm putting name actually, so name will be message obviously, and then I'm going for some columns. So we have columns like 30, just I need 88. You can keep on changing. Okay, rows will be something around 7. Okay, it's totally up to you what you prefer. Then I am adding some class to this, like text area. Okay, now only we need submit button. So for that I'm putting input type will be submit, and then I'm going for the name like submit, and also I'm adding some value to this like send your message. Okay, and then I'm adding some class like button and transition. So transition, it will contain some transition effects on the click transition. Okay, let's have a look what we are getting. As you can see, all the inputs are coming up, and also we are getting the button here. Now this time I'm gonna working for the styling to style it nicely. So for that, what I'll be doing, I'm just coming to the style.css page, and here we will style it nicely. Okay, so while waiting, let's do that right now. Very first we have the ID that is contact. Let me show you first. We have the ID here contact. So this ID I'm just targeting there. So here I'm going at the very bottom. There I'll be defining. Here I mentioned contact. This will be containing some overflow like hidden, and also I'm putting some font family to this like roboto, condensed. Okay, and then I'm adding some sans serif. Okay, if I show you, then we'll get the font family right there. This time I'm targeting another class that is contact info. This will be containing some another class like contact form as well. I am targeting two classes together. This will be having some float left, and also I'm putting some padding to this like 0 and 20 pixel. Here I am putting TRBL, top right bottom left. Okay, right now I'm gonna adding only the class called contact info, and this will be containing some width like 250 pixel, and also I'm adding font family like roboto. After this we have contact form. This is the class, so it will contain dot and then the class name called contact form, and just putting some width like 530 pixel. Let's have a look what we are getting. Okay, so just coming here and you can see it is aligning nicely. Only the map is looking something weird, isn't it? So I'll be making it right now. Very first, what I'll be doing, I am going to targeting the evil tag which is containing the contact info class. So let's do just scrolling the page, going at the very bottom, taking extra spaces to define the things. Okay, here I am working for the contact info. So here I am mentioning contact info, and this will be containing UL which is containing all the address like left. Then I'm gonna adding border left like 1 pixel solid, and then some different color. Let's have a look this color like CF455C. Okay, here I'm putting padding left something around 18 pixel. You can keep on changing its value. Okay, inside this I'm just targeting different one, that is evil ally. So here I'm mentioning evil ally, then I'm putting some font size and everything. So I'm putting font size something around 13 pixel, and also I'm gonna adding some line height 20 pixel, color this like okay, and then overflow hidden, and font family roboto. Okay, this time I am gonna working for the map. So we have id that is map. Let me show you. Here on the index page we have the id here that is map. So just calling the inside the style.css, I am putting hash for the id and then the id name. Here I am putting a height something around 300 pixel, and just putting some margin bottom to this like 25 pixel. You can increase its value, then width like 100%, and this time we can put some border bottom to this. So here I am putting border bottom like 1 pixel, its thickness will be and weight will be, and then the weight will be solid, and then I am putting color like something like black type. Okay, CCC, and also I'm putting border top. So just duplicating it, changing its property name like border bottom to top. Okay, and then I'm putting width already I have put. Okay, now we have another selector that is iframe. So here I'm putting map iframe, width will be 100%. Okay, I'm saving it and showing you. Yes, as you can see we are getting the Google map right here, all the contact info right here, and then we have this text. Okay, so we can change it later on, it's up to us. Okay, but button is not defined here, and also we have to work for the button. So just coming to the bracket, and this time we have to work for the form input. So here I'm just mentioning form, and it is containing the input class, not input class, yeah, input class we have, and then I'm separating it, and then I'm targeting text area which is containing all the messages. Okay, so we have put form.input comma form text area. Inside this I'm very first putting some box shadow that is containing inset, and then it will be 0 pixel, 5 pixel, 17 pixel, and also I'm putting minus 13 pixel. I am putting multiple properties together. Okay, so it will save our time definitely. Then the color, now I'm putting background to this like FD. Okay, then I'm putting border 1 pixel solid, then putting CED 4DA. Okay, here I'm putting border radius to this like 2 pixel. Border radius here I'm putting 2 pixel, you can increase its value. Then I'm putting some color to this like 777, and then I'm going for the font size like 12 pixel, and also I'm gonna adding some height to this like 30 pixel, and then we will add outline like none, padding 7 pixel, and then I'm putting 10 pixel, resize none, we will not get any resizing there, then width like 97%. Okay, then we have form again, and then it is containing text area, height I'm putting here 112 pixel, line height 18 pixel. We will get some alignment to the vertically center, that's why I am using line height. Then I am adding margin bottom like 0, and then padding top like 8 pixel. We have paragraph tag, or we can put here, I'm just coming to the index page and let you know what we have to do. Here I am putting form label. I am targeting the label right now. It will be containing some display like block, and then I'm adding color like this, and then I'm gonna adding for margin bottom 8 pixel and just adding font size 13 pixel. Okay, this time I'm gonna adding some button effect. So here I'm mentioning button, and this will be containing some color, white background color like red type, or you can click on the color name, press Ctrl E, and you can see we have the color chooser, okay, or color selector. After this I am adding padding like 8 pixel and just working for the border like none, and then going for the border radius 3 pixel, and just I am working for the cursor like 0.2, and then font size 13 pixel. Let's have a look. Yes, you can see we are getting everything beautifully defined. Right now we have to put some gapping to this white background. So what I'll be doing, just coming to the bracket, going at the index space, and just here we'll add some BR tag to get some line break. So here I'm mentioning BR. Okay, let's have a look. As you can see, it is not affected anymore. So just delete from here, delete extra spaces from here. Okay, and we have the input box here. Just after this I'm adding BR tag 3 or 4 more times as the needed. Just have a look. Yes, you can see we are getting nice gapping. If you want to put some text, if you want to put some gapping to this, then you can do that. It's very easy. Come back to the bracket, go add the text where we have put let's keep in touch. Just after this, add BR tag 2 more times. Okay, and let's have a look. Click on it and you can see, yep. Friends, finally we created the contact page which is containing the Google map, form input, then address. So friends, finally we created whole portfolio section, and it is truly amazing, isn't it? I hope you liked it. If you have any issue, then feel free to ask me. I'll be glad to help you. So stay tuned. See you in the next course. Till then, keep subscribing, keep sharing.